Hey guys, welcome back to We Watch a Movie. I'm Mike.
I want to talk to Samson. Fly me to the moon like that bitch Alex Crampton.
Happy Friday night, everybody. I hope you're having an awesome one. I had a good Friday. I went to Hooters today.
Ooh, did you see a lot of boobies?
I didn't see any of those, but I saw butts, and I learned something about their butts. Do you know what I learned about their butts,
That they
Jay?
smell when they get dirty, just like every other person's.
Even Halle Berry. But I learned something. I was talking to my wife, Katie. We were sitting there, and I was like, do you think that they all tan together? Do you think all the Hooters girls go and tan together? I was like, because all of their butts...
On top of each other, I hope so.
All of their butts are exactly the same amount of tan. Like, they're the exact same color of tan.
Aren't those stockings?
Jay, I didn't know that.
You thought those were just tanned, luscious legs?
I thought they all had the same tan, luscious legs. Yeah.
No, dude.
And then, like, Katie was like, are you serious right now? I was like, what? I was like, they all have the exact same tone butt. And she was like, those are stockings, Mike. They're like super thin tights. And then I started to look around and I was like, holy son of a canned underwear. That's true.
I only knew that because one time I was staring really hard and I finally saw the elastic part because I was like watching them. Like, I didn't get caught or anything. I'm not a creep, idiot. You're only a creep if you get caught. But no, I was staring and I was like, those are spandex. I was thinking of the Robin Hood Men in Tights for Medley Myth. We're men in tights. Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy.
So I did watch I watched the Brian Pillman Dark Side of the Ring season 3. I just finished that up. It's fucking good, dude. I think we can say fuck now. Yeah, it's been 2 minutes.
Yeah, we're solid.
Yeah, dude, it was really good. It's sad as hell. I mean, I remember if you see Brian Pillman, like you'll like kind of recognize him. You're like, oh, it's that dude. Cause he was on the late 90s when we started really watching wrestling. But he's been around. He'd been around forever. He was a tag team partner of Steve Austin back in the day when he was known as Stunning Steve Austin. And they were called the Hollywood Blondes or something. But I didn't recognize them when they were doing that. I recognized him when he got he kind of almost looked like a Raven kind of guy. They called him the Loose Cannon. And no, not his sex life. It was just this character, Loose Cannon. But yeah, dude, it was pretty rough. It was a rough story.
He's the Loose Cannon.
But it's good, dude. I swear, those guys have got to be up for like award or something because they're on Vice, like they are knocking that shits out the park.
Yeah, dude. I know those shows are apparently awesome. I still haven't watched one yet, but I
think the next one. Well, no, I do know this season the Ultimate Warrior is going to be one of them.
That's going to be a rad one. I can't wait to see that. I can't wait.
That's the first taste of adult beverage.
Jay does that every time he takes his first drink of the night. He does that exact same thing.
How come you cut it, but not me? Yeah, dude. Then I just realized I really hate those notifications on Facebook. You know those video notifications? Like it'll say, "Oh, a new video from something you follow or something you've previously watched."
Yeah.
So they notify you. Well, I clicked on one today, and there should be some kind of warning or like it should be like a blurred out image where like, this may be disturbing. And then you have to click it to play it because it was so fucking sad, dude. Because I took it all in really quick and it made the tear ducts go, oh, because it showed this it's like this mother dog cries out in agony and you see a puppy laying at its fucking feet and it's like on its side, like looks like it's dead. And the mother dog is like howling in agony and trying to get people to help it as they're walking by on the street. I'm like, dude, Sarah McLachlan immediately invaded my thoughts.
Can't do it.
I hate it, dude. It made me mad. I wanted to write a letter to the Shitterberg and be like, dude, stop that.
I can't win with that, man. Like, honest to God, the like St. Jude's Hospital commercials get me too, because they're always like these super sad stories. Even if they end happy, I'll sit there. I'll be, when I was at the office, I would sit there and just like be like teared up. They're like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, these TPS reports are all wrong. I don't know what's wrong with me.
That's what it is.
I hate that shit, man.
It wouldn't even on TV. It's one thing because you can flip the channel real quick and watch a booby movie on the Skinamax or something like. I quit. But on Facebook, it's hard, dude, because like you're scrolling through and it's like, ooh, fucking sad face moment, and then you're like, what if I don't watch it and I get bad karma? Like I got to watch the whole video now. And there better be a happy ending or I'm fucking suing.
Gary Sim, first super chat of the night goes Gary Sim.
Hey, okay.
Thanks, buddy. Hey, guys, just sending some love before work. Thanks for the birthday shout out. Love you guys. Going to be a dad too. A girl, any advice, Mike? Hey, congratulations on having a little girl, buddy.
That's congratulations, man.
A birthday, a child on the way.
You need to name her She-Ra.
Employed. She-Ra's a good
She-Ra.
That's a strong.
Like, well, it's He-Man's cousin. It was a badass. She-Ra's a badass.
That's a strong name for a girl.
It is.
Hey,
It's
man,
strong.
as a proud girl dad myself, any advice I could give you is the best thing you can do in those first couple months is that baby's going to be super attached to the mom. And the best thing you do those first couple months is just support the mom as much as you can, because her body, her whole life just went through a whole weird thing. And, as far as life goes further on, best advice I can give anybody for a dad is just to, try to let your kid be who they're going to be and find common interests and become best friends. But you also gotta be the dad. Like I was telling last night, I caught my daughter watching YouTube at 1 a.m. when she's got school tomorrow morning. I even sit down and tweet about that. Well, I went outside. I was watching a basketball game, and I went outside.
Who's playing?
It was the Lakers and the Clippers.
I wonder if the Bullets are coming back.
I put a 5 spot on it. I bet super cheap.
Put 5 on it.
Because the way I see it is if you bet like $5 on a game or something like that, right? It's not dangerous. Like you pay $4 to rent a movie, right? So I pay $5, $10 tops to bet on a basketball game, and then it makes it super interesting. It makes sense. Anyways, long story short, I went outside to smoke a cigarette. I saw a light coming from her room. I went in there and I said, Memphis, what are you doing? She said, I know. I said, take it. I'm like, come on, man. Come on. You got school in the morning. But it always makes me feel weird because
she just turned around and was like, fuck you, Dad.
No,
I don't have school for you or for anybody.
She was like, I know. Sorry. And I'm like, you gotta get sleep, man. You gotta get sleep, but it's weird because
Hey, Dad, when you say that statement, does your nose grow? Because you're a liar.
That's the thing. That's actually what I tweeted last night. I was like, for somebody who rails against the system as much as I try to do in my life, it's weird for me to have to be the system at home. And that's one of those things you got to face as a dad, is that you got to be the system. And it sucks to be the man. Like, damn the man. It's like, I am the man here. And that's weird. But you got to do it, man. Because you can't let your kids stay up all night eating fucking ice cream. They're going to fail their grades.
I'd probably be like, just fucking eat it until you throw up and it'll teach you a lesson.
Every once in a while, you got to do that too.
It's like, yeah, you know what? Don't go to fucking school and get dumb like your mom. No, you should never say that. By the way, if she wants like chocolate covered deep fried pickles at 2:00 in the morning from Denny's, or is that when they're pregnant? I guess that's when they're pregnant. I was gonna say you better go out and get it. Oh yeah. But if she asks you for that shit, you better ask for a divorce, because she's doing some weird shit. Yeah, man. If she's like, all of a sudden, like, after you had your baby, you want some deep fried chocolate covered pickles? Why don't you suck on a pickled dick? Because I know you're cheating on me.
The best, honestly.
You just want me out of the house so you can invite the mailman over. Isn't that it?
The best advice, honestly, that I can give Gary is don't stress too much, because it's not that hard. It's not hard to be a good parent, man, especially when they're young. You got to be there. You got to do the stuff. Make sure they don't die. Be a good parent. It's not hard. Don't let anybody scare you. Just do what you got to fucking do.
It's like, yeah, what's the strategies for raising your kids? Just make sure they don't die until they're 18.
Hey, that's
then
a
it's
big
off
one.
Your shoulders.
On the list of being a good parent, like, it's make sure they don't die, and then from here down. You know what I mean? That's
solid advice. I would follow that. If that wasn't a fortune cookie, I was like, that's good advice.
Because them things are always, dude, they're always trying to kill themselves, especially Ellie, my little one. She's always trying to die. But
they always seem like they're malleable, dude. Like they're like Stretch Armstrongs. Like their bones like morph and bend in a way that like human adults can't. They can bounce right back the fuck up. Like if they hit, like, I'm not saying if they hit concrete, they're not going to die from high up. But I've seen a kid hit and they bounce up like a trampoline. They're like, and they're like having fun. It's like, holy shit. I can't do that. If I fall like a little bit now, dude, I'm like, ee.
Oh yeah.
Oh, like the Homer Simpson thing.
I'm gonna feel this for like 2 weeks and be complaining about it. Yeah, no, Memphis has never broken a bone. Ellie's already broken her elbow, but that's not a surprise. She's a monster. But anyways,
by the way, I was just gonna tell you, Courtney. No, I've checked. There are no goddamn lichens in my room. Okay.
That was a fun
no goddamn lichens. There's no werewolves around here.
Thank you so much, Lucifer Morningstar, for the super chat. Hey, guys, got an awesome show for you tonight. It's going to be a really fun time in the Wham House tonight. I can't wait. We're all very excited. Tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern, after our first break of the night, we have the guy who wrote this little ditty right here, John Passarello. I got to make sure I say that right. We have the author of the Halloween 2018 novelization, which differs from the book in certain fascinating ways. We're going to talk to him about all that, what it's like to write a Halloween novel. Does he do it off a script? Does he do it? Does he get to see the movie early? How's that all go? We're going to talk to him about that. And do me a favor, guys. Share this video and comment in the comments that you shared this video. Share it to whatever social platform you want with the link to the video in it. And preferably somewhere that there's horror fans, Halloween fans, and we're going to buy a few autographed copies of John's book here tonight, and we're going to give them away to random people who share the video tonight. So share that now. Get it to your horror friends. Let them know we're going to be interviewing this cool son of a gun.
I swear,
send your book, maybe.
Sound like you said, get it to your whore friends.
Get it to your
ones
that
friends. Need to read and get with Jesus and stop whoring around. That's what I swear. It's like, get it to your whore friends, the ones that don't talk to you, but they always call you for money when they need you because they're stripping. No, actually, they would be the other way around because strippers make a shit ton of money.
Yeah, they do.
We could, like a ridiculous amount.
If I had a stripper friend, I would borrow money off of.
I mean, I put one through college. I know. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I joke with you.
Patricia Gregory, thank you so much. She says, guys, please call me Trish. Trish, we'll call you Trish. Thank you for always making me laugh. You guys are creative and funny. You're a liar, but thank you. We love
it's totally a lie, but we'll take it. I like those I like those empty compliments. It makes me feel good inside.
Oh yeah. Why did I say it like that?
Yeah. You sound like a sexual Kool-Aid man. You know, oh yeah. You're like, oh yeah.
Deeper and deeper.
They should have a new commercial for Kool-Aid man when he comes through the wall. He's just like, oh yeah. Oh no. Like this. Yeah.
You know what compliments me and Jay especially like is when you compliment both of us or our channel together.
That's better.
It always creates a weird sensation when you only comment on one of us. Because I saw somebody on Twitter, they retweeted our Superman review today, and they retweeted the video, and they were like, you guys should watch this. Jay has some really good points. And I wanted to go, we said the same fucking thing. We said the same thing. We both get that way.
How does one of us have better points than the other one? We copy each other's fucking homework.
Exactly.
That's like saying, it's like, hey man, did you do your homework assignment? It's like, no man, I haven't done it yet. It's like, I did mine. Copy off mine real quick, and you won't get the merits. I'm like, okay. Well, you'll never know. Just change a couple of the words.
It's like if there was like 4 or 5 people on the show, and you like shouted one dude out and be like, hey, fucking Mike was killing it tonight, then it'd be like, oh, hey, that's just a compliment to that guy. But when there's only 2 of us and someone's like, hey, this video is pretty good because of that guy, you're like, hey, fuck you, dude, I'm there too.
It's like our good buddy Eric from Pretty Much It. I'd have fired one of those guys a long time ago. I just like, man, there's just too many of you. I can't, like, I'm not gonna slice up the compliments in this way. Like, I can't.
Can you just say the video's good?
Well, you know what? Honestly, though, I wouldn't mind being the guy in the background forever if I was like a fucking drummer in a badass band, and they're like, oh, who's the drummer? I don't even know. Like they get like a new drummer everywhere. It's like, no, bitch, I've been here since the beginning and pulling in that check. I got more money than God.
And I ain't even gotta do nothing but sit back here and play these.
Yeah, I mean, I can't.
Drums.
If you ask me, like, there's very few drummers that I can name off the top of my head. Like Neil Peart, Travis Barker, Alex Van Halen. Because I mean, I know that because Alex was apparently a better guitarist than Eddie Van Halen, and Eddie Van Halen was a better drummer than Alex, but they switched roles or whatever. Dave Grohl, yeah,
but probably because he's a singer that you know.
Peter Criss, like Phil Collins. I mean, shit, I'm naming more than I thought. I'm a liar. Those guys are famous.
Brittany Bush, thank you so much, Brittany. Hey guys, sorry I've missed so many live streams. A lot going on. Hope y'all are doing okay. Sending love from me and Romero. Speaking of the Foo Fighters, hey, sucked to hear about how they dicked Rovenary at the job over there, Brittany. But sending much love and good thoughts your all's way. Thank you so much for that. That's very sweet of you. He's gonna be fine.
I don't know. Maybe I saw. Maybe there was a super chat. I don't know. Was there a super chat about Resident Evil? I don't know.
No.
That was an incredible long burp. Booger himself from Revenge of the Nerds would be proud.
Negative, Captain.
No, okay. So I did see someone ask if Resident Evil Village, if I'd play it. I haven't played it, but
I missed it. You're right. Lucifer Morningstar. Are you guys hyped for Resident Evil of Darkness?
Okay. They were asking about the TV show. Is that what it is? I thought it was Welcome to Raccoon City.
I don't know what the TV show or the movie's called, but the game is called Village.
I thought the Resident Evil Village.
That's the game.
I don't know what the other one is.
I'm super pumped for the fucking movie, dude, because it's fucking Vigit Gahagen, Johannes Robertson, whatever, Scarlett Johansson, Johannes Roberts, I think is the guy's name, and he said he wants to make it like the games, which is what you and I have always said. So I'm super psyched about the movie. The other stuff I don't know too much about.
I thought they called it Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City. I don't know.
Maybe that was the show.
I thought that was the I don't. There's so much shit going on in the world. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm hyped for it. I think hopefully they really do it justice because again, If I go back to the Mila Jovovich days, I only liked the first two really, and after that, when she got super duper powers and could like do Neo moves and shit like that, I'm like, I lost interest. I just was like, this is dumb. The first two were decent enough. The first one was pretty good, and I like that Marilyn Manson soundtrack they had going because I mean, I thought the music was pretty stellar in Resident Evil 1. The second one, because I thought after I saw the first one, I was like, all right, well, they kind of fucked around and dicked around a little bit. And they piddled. I thought in the second one though, when they went to Raccoon City, they were going to fix all that. They were going to introduce all the stars members and get more of the original style of the game. They did not do that. But either way, yeah. What I was talking about was the Village, the game. I didn't play it, but I didn't get a chance to get it. But I did watch the whole movie.
You already watched it?
Well, it's 2 hours and 15 minutes on when they cut all the scenes together. So I just watched it was pretty good. I liked it.
Yeah. I got stuck on Biohazard, and I'm stuck in the room with all the gloopy gloops on the wall, and I can't get out of it, and it scares me, so I quit playing it. But maybe,
like how S Rose 40 is like, I watched a movie, I watched it, I have no friends. Well, that's so sad. I'm sorry that you don't. I hope one day you do. You can maybe get it at your bingo hall.
We're your friends. We're your friends, Steven.
No, I don't know if you were making fun of us or not. I was like, okay.
Probably. It's true. We don't have any friends. Courtney Reed, buddy. Thanks, you. He says, did Donnie Wahlberg respond to the interview email? We put out a thing on our Twitter and Facebook. And by the way, on there saying, hey, next week is Saw week, by the way. We're going to have a video ranking all the Saw traps, top to bottom. We're going to have several Saw videos. We're going to come up with a skit for Saw. Next week is Saw week in anticipation of Spiral. And I asked, who's somebody from the Saw franchise you guys would like to see us interview? We're going to reach out to people this week and see if we can get somebody on the show for next week. Tobin Bell was a no, but it's not because he didn't want to come on the show. It was because he is taking a break right now from all press and stuff like that. But Courtney asked about Donnie Wahlberg, as did several other people. Did not get a response yet.
Thing about
don't expect one, but
yeah,
one.
They just lost their mom. I mean that might be a big issue about any kind of press.
That's true.
Mark Wahlberg and Donnie Wahlberg, yeah, their mom died like 3 weeks ago, so they're probably not really hyped up for any kind of interviews. But it'd be cool if we got him.
Even then, they would probably say no to us. But we reached out.
I just want to be like, hey, I was like, Donnie, that point where I realized that you were no longer a new kid on the block is when I saw you in your underwear and you were super skinny in The Sixth Sense. I was like, holy shit, he's come a long way. He's a bona fide actor. Because I mean, honestly, but that's true though. Because the first time when I first watched The Sixth Sense, I had no idea at the very beginning of that movie that was fucking Donnie Wahlberg in his undies.
Yeah, that's
like,
crazy.
He was really good.
Yeah, he's had some moments, man. He's had some moments. We'd love to have him on the show. That would be fun to sit. That would be fun. You could ask him about all the new kid stuff because I don't know anything about that shit.
I just want to know, when you were in your underwear and you were cold and your wiener was shriveling up, were you hanging tough?
Hanging tough. I only know that even because of you. But yeah. So, and again, guys, I want to say it one more time. There we go. Kat said they shared it. For those of you new here, we have John Passarello on the show at 10 p.m. Eastern time tonight. And for everybody that goes, shares this video, likes this video, and everybody else, please like this video too, because it helps us out a whole bunch apparently. We're gonna order a few signed copies from John, and we're gonna mail them to several winners who have shared this in some Halloween forum somewhere, on some horror forum, wherever you do it. Just comment down below, let us know where you did it. We'll pick a couple people and we'll send you guys an autographed book.
By the way, just real quick, just really a hanger upper on what we like the last video, our rant on WB. Just to clarify, I don't know if we said that or not, and I might have made the mistake by saying that it was going to be a Netflix produced show for the gay Green Lantern that they're producing. It's actually I think they're working on an HBO Max. And from what I've read so far, it's going to be Alan Scott, which is the original Green Lantern from the 30s, and basically AKA nobody gives a fuck. That's what my issue was, because I want to see what we talked about: Jon Stewart, Kyle Rayner, and Hal Jordan. Obviously, the Alan Scott character literally has nothing to do with Green Lantern Corps, like nothing. It's a totally different character. His powers are totally based differently. Anyway, that's all I was saying. It's not that I know that Alan Scott's gay in the comic books, which is fine. I'm just saying, like, I really wish they'd focused more on, like, get us some fucking Jon Stewart or something. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I the whole thing that WB.
But I just want to make sure people do this. Like, these assholes don't even know. They said Netflix, idiots.
We're used to that, anyways. What are you gonna do? Carrie Ells will be awesome, Robbie. That's one person I've not emailed yet. Probably won't. Carrie Ells came to Scarefest to the horror convention here, and it was the first time I've ever seen shit like in my life. Which kudos to him. That's cool. But he had a literal, like, everybody else just sitting on press row. Carrie Ells had a tent, like a tiki hut tent, covering him up so that nobody could see him unless they they paid for it.
I don't even think it was a tiki hut. I literally think that because Kentucky and Lexington Scarefest is, there's some kind of wonderful. It was a fucking shower curtain with like ducks on it. It was like that's all they could find in the closet because they weren't prepared for the mighty to come. He's like, no one will see my face unless they pay the 50.
And we would never say that, but they haven't been that.
No, I mean,
they haven't treated us that well.
No, it wasn't Kerry Yules. I'm sure it was like his team or whatever that manages, his appearance fee. But they were like, hey, quick, put this rubber ducky fucking shower curtain over your face so nobody could take. I was like, what are you fucking blanket from Michael Jackson's Kid? Nobody can see me. Oh, blanket, don't be ridiculous, blanket. They love you.
Well, I see some people saying Shawnee Smith too from the Saul franchise have reached out to her. We'll see. This is just last night, like I said, 2 a.m. watching a basketball game, emailing fucking people from Saul. So we'll see what happens there. But we're not just going to have John Passarello, Novelist of 2018 Halloween on tonight, but we are also going to do trailer reactions for A Quiet Place 2 and Stranger Things Part 4, which we will do now. Which one do you want to do first, dude?
I don't know. Let's do.
Which one?
Well, let's do Stranger Things because isn't this the last season? It's the very last season they're doing.
I don't know. I don't think they said that, but I could be wrong. I haven't really followed that closely.
I don't know. Are you caught up?
Yeah, I watched season 3.
Okay.
Liked it a lot. Nothing's been as good as season 1 so far, but I still liked it. Fucking Hop. We knew he was alive. We knew fucking Hop was alive. Don't kid a kidster. Hey. Psst. Okay. Can I see your phone? I need it.
Oh yeah, we're gonna go ahead and start.
We will need it. Your telephone.
Let me exit out of my hentai real quick. That's weird. I don't know how that got on there because I don't even watch hentai, lady.
What?
Do you want both?
No, just one's fine.
All right, so Stranger Things.
Oh, can I have the other hole?
That's what I was asking.
Stranger.
Stranger Things 4. It's the official one, by the way. It's got like 3.5 million views. Just to make sure we're watching the same one.
Is it okay? Is it? Yeah, I see it.
Monday,
is it Stranger Things 4:11? Are you listening?
Yeah. That's the one.
Bye, Netflix.
Bye, Netflix. Okay, hang on. Pause this. Put it back on.
God dang it! Stop.
What'd I do?
Not you.
I know.
Stupid ass laptop. God, curse of the devil.
Ha
God, I hate it when I almost fucking spit it out.
That's what she said.
Yeah, really, but I've never said this. Don't swallow.
Let me know when you're ready for me to put action in.
For me to poop on it. For me to poop on it. Speaking of which, Conan O'Brien is retiring, which sucks.
I seen that. I saw that. That shit's crazy, dude.
I'm ready. Let me get to 0. Okay.
Oh shit, my shit locked out. What?
It's just Stranger Things 4:11. Are you listening, Netflix?
Okay. No, I forgot Katie's passcode for a second. All right.
Hey, Sir Christopher Nelson. Hello, sir.
Hey, Christopher Nelson. Hey, that's Academy Award winning Christopher Nelson.
Academy Award winning Christopher Nelson.
And wonderful, handsome man, if I might say so myself.
Don't you fucking forget it.
All right, guys, we're going to watch the Stranger Things 4 trailer for the first time. Stranger Things Season 4 trailer for the first time. You ready to press play on the count of sucking, fucking, and touching?
Mm-hmm.
Sucking? Oh, wait, I got to do one thing real quick.
Oh, shit. I already was at sucking.
Shut up!
Oh, damn. Well, I got to finish. I can't stop once I start going. It stings.
Okay. Hopefully this will work. Sucking, fucking, and touching. We have to press play.
Oh, shit, it's 3 o'clock. School's out.
These kids are slow. No, not like that.
They were slow to get over the rainbow, that's for sure.
Oh, Plinko!
Oh, it's Magic 8 Ball. I use that when I get scratch-offs. That was like Connect 4. Connect 4?
It was dope. Just play with
I like it. I know it's not like it.
Good morning, children. How are you today?
Did I say Papa?
Good.
I don't know, but
Glad
this
to
reminds
hear
me
it.
of...
Because today,
teacher, leave
I
them
have
kids
something
alone.
very special planned for you. Children. 11. Are you listening?
11.
Hey. Hey, she woke up from a nappy nap. Cool beans, man.
Was that it?
Yeah, that's it. That
Are
was
we
only
fucking
minute 9.
done here?
They called it a teaser. It really was a big teaser.
I borrowed my wife's phone for this Netflix. You know how mad she gets when I borrow her phone?
He's using a hotspot, for God's sake. The bill's gonna be outrageous. Yeah, dude. I gotta be honest. I kind of hope they start wrapping it up. I really do like Stranger Things. I think it's one of the better Netflix series to ever be produced. But at this point, I think the story is pretty much like, I think that you can go one more season and then it's like it's time to go home, you son of a bitch ball. Are you too good for your home? I mean, of course they can do spin-offs and they can do whatever they want, but I mean, at the same time, I feel like the actors are getting tired of it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Like, I think what happened was Stranger Things came out, and then a whole bunch of people came out and ripped off Stranger Things. Like, they're like, oh my God, the 80s, kids on bikes. Let's make 17 fucking movies and shows out of it. And like, I think that, I don't know if it's Stranger Things that we got sick of, as we got sick of like, oh, dude, the 80s aesthetic is so cool, and I love 80s aesthetic, but it's just like, you know, when something ends up at Walmart, then you know it's not cool anymore. And it feels like the 80s aesthetic, the kids on bikes, is at Walmart now, and I still love it. I don't want it to be at Walmart, but it is at Walmart right now. And you know, season 3 was good. I am excited for season 4, but you're right. I don't think they can go too much longer.
Well, here's the thing about Stranger Things. Yeah, well, it was weird because there was like a pocket of time when all the movies that were coming out were like based on like reliving your youth through the eyes of these kids. Like you had Stranger Things, you have Super 8, the new Ghostbusters movie that was supposed to come out 3,000 years ago that keeps getting delayed. Fuck Paul Rudd. I love him though, but it's not his fault. It's not
your fault, Paul.
No, it's not Paul's fault. I mean, it was a joke. But anyway, but I think that ship has sailed. Like I think that you've played it out enough.
Yeah, at least it's like the zombie thing, right? Like, I don't want zombies to go away for forever. I just want like a 6-month to 2-year break from it.
And honestly, the kids' angle in the Ghostbusters Afterlife, I'm still not. I mean, I think it's going to be a great film, and I have high hopes for Ghostbusters Afterlife. But even then, I'm like, man. I mean, the kids' angle though. I mean, it's like I kind of wanted to see it like a I don't know, a new group of comedians take over the role, like from Harold Ramis, Dan Aykroyd, Ernie Hudson, and Bill Murray, but.
Like fans loved it, and they took Stranger Things and they embraced it, but the studios in Hollywood went fucking hard. You saw like Finn Wolfhard in like 17 goddamn movies. I think he's in Ghostbusters. And then like you said, doing the same thing. That being said, as far as that trailer goes, that was pretty cool. I mean, there wasn't a lot. It wasn't an actual trailer. It was, you know, it was like a clip, kind of like a
And I have to go back. I'll be honest. I forgot a lot of season 3, so I got to go back and refresh myself. But I mean, it looked cool.
Yeah.
And again, it really did look like what was that band? Pink Floyd, The Wall, when that guy was walking and you could just hear him over the intercom or something, or like an Apple II commercial.
It did look like an Apple II commercial.
Or especially like that. You know what I'm talking about. But
it's like,
you know, you all ancient people in the chat know what we're talking about when she throws the sledgehammer and breaks the window.
Hey, Steve Jobs is a good movie. The
I love it. Yeah, man, it's gonna be fun. I mean, it's gonna hype up everybody that's a big Stranger Things fan for sure.
I'm creep. Were they calling that dude Papa, dude? Were they
Papa
calling him
Doc?
Papa
Doc. Papa Doc.
Reminds me of Deadpool. It's like, Papa, can you hear me? Were they calling him Papa though? Did I just hear that wrong? Because if they were calling
I think
Papa,
you want to talk to your Papa.
Weird.
I think you just heard it because you want to talk to Daddy.
Papa.
They might have though. I don't know. I thought that was
Logan first said Baba Yaga.
Baba Yaga. No, wasn't there? I know that there was like the adoptive father.
It's Matthew Modine, by the way, is the guy.
Yeah, of 11 in the first season, but I thought he died in the first season. Remember the one that actually took her and experimented on her, and that was her only father figure? I don't know if that's him or not. I thought he was fucking dead. I mean, and here's another question that are they gonna address? I mean, I didn't see sexy sheriff man. I can't even think of his name, dude.
Hopper.
Yeah, Hopper died or went into, you know, the nether realm or some shit, or
he
on
lived,
the other
though.
side.
I knew he fucking lived. Yeah, he lived. They made it seem like he died, but they teased it. You could tell he was gonna fucking live. And they Hopper
I would have liked it. He's like, Hopper, wake up, you're needed. And then he's like, God damn it, or something. I don't know.
Lights up a cigarette. Huh?
Hopper,
what's going on here, people?
Hooper. Is it Hooper?
Hopper. I thought it was Hopper.
Robbie Cozell, and I believe him.
He's a fucking liar.
Oh, Robbie, why you gotta play games with my? Quit playing games with my heart.
Jason Dyer's being a cunt. He said,
What?
He said, Jay, you are the man. I love your movie takes, and you are the one who makes Wham so special and fun. What up, Mike? Love your faces.
Hey, Jason, I really appreciate that. You know what? It's probably not the right platform to say all those great and wondrous things, but after the show, I'm going to give you my personal email address, and I want you to send me those
Oh,
compliments daily.
Railing Movie Takes said, you two should come
I'm
to...
here.
No, he froze for a second. He said, you guys should come to Days of the Dead in August. It's an awesome horror con in Atlanta, and I would love to meet you guys. Beer on me, but no pee water. Sorry, Jay. That means he's going to buy your beer. He's going to pick what you're drinking, Sally.
Well, I mean, I'm glad there's no pee water because I don't want to drink anybody's urine. And Day of the Dead, it just sounds like a bunch of people that are bored to death. Day of the Dead? What is it? Just Day of the Boring? Like, what does that even mean? What kind of show name is that? No, I know that'd be awesome, man. It'd be cool to go there. I saw that a lot of people. Somebody was mentioning George Romero. There was a teaser trailer or something that came out for his new
a documentary about his life.
Was it a documentary? I thought there was like a script that he hadn't got to write. Like it was going to be the Twilight of the Dead.
I remember something about that. Yeah.
I saw it was going to be the last George Romero film. It was his last screenplay before he unfortunately passed away. So that'll be cool. I mean, I don't know. I thought there might have been a teaser for it, but I guess not.
Yeah. Well, no, there was something. I did see something. But hey, but back to his comment. I mean, you got to watch for that, dude. You can't be doing that. You don't mess with Jay's drinking schedule, okay? If you mess with what Jay's drinking, when Jay's drinking it, that's like feeding a gremlin after midnight. You need to let him have his Michelob Ultra and have the exact amount that he knows he needs, okay? Don't try to feed him IPAs. There's plenty of puke
spots on the highway from here to Timbuktu that will tell you that that's exactly what needs to go down.
Measured alcoholism. Measured.
You don't fuck with my drinking schedule just like you don't fuck with my sex schedule. It has to be, okay, on Monday, smiley face. That means that I have sex. On Wednesdays, smiley face with a frown. That means I go down on her. On Friday, smiley face with a blush. That means she goes down on me. And then on Saturday, I orgasmed once. And then on, it's from all right.
That kid is back on the escalator.
No, but really, I can't. Honestly, I think I've tried that before. It's like, oh yeah, you'll be fine. Don't drink Michelob Ultra. That's all pee water. And it's for old men with gallbladder issues. And then you'll drink like fucking. It's like, I was like, all right, well, here I go. Let me down this Captain Morgan. I'll be like the captain with my foot on a fucking barrel and my head's in the toilet in 2 hours. It's bad too, because I'll go to Mike. I'm like, hey man, can you make me a drink? It's gotten bad. That means I've exhausted all my pee water. And I'm like, hey Mike, can you make daddy a drink? And I know that's gonna be bad news. It's gonna be bad news when I get home.
Hey, I know your levels. I know how much to put in that drink when I make it. Sometimes I don't put anything in it.
Dude, this is the worst I've ever felt. And Mike wasn't making it. I had this big dude, it was like fucking Motley Crue on steroids. I felt like I was partying with them. I was a big bottle of vodka and I was pouring it in here and mixing it, but I wasn't doing the right amount. I was putting too much vodka in and just a little bit of diet soda. Yeah. So I was chugging the shit back and I was like, it ain't doing nothing, bro. Like nothing. And so I started, the reason why is because the vodka hadn't caught up to my brain yet. My body was like, well, you fucked. And I kept drinking, dude. Like all I remember is laying on the floor, like having the basket, like clutching it like a baby that I was looking for. And like vomiting into it was one of the worst, dude. I felt like I could have been behind the music without the music.
Yeah, that stuff will get you.
Like Jay's reckless lifestyle led him down a dark path.
Gary Callow said there's a Netflix animated movie coming out called Resident Evil Infinite Darkness. So that's the name of the animated one. And there's Welcome to Raccoon City. And then there's
that's cool. I didn't know they were doing an animated one.
Yeah. I can't help but laugh, dude. April said something to somebody. She said, "Hi, Tina," and she had a bunch of exclamation points after it. And all I could think was Halloween 5. Just like, Tina! Tina!
I thought I was thinking of Nightmare on Elm Street. Wasn't there a best friend that was in the body bag with the worms and shit named Tina?
Yeah, she was too. I always think of the
Nancy
we hate from Halloween 5. She's like, when you meet a man and he makes your heart neon, and she's like, yeah, but I'm 5 and I'm adopted, and this mass serial killer's killing my whole family, and you're the only lifeline I have. And she's like, but I have a date. Bye.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna be like, I have a dick.
I have a
Nobody knows, but I have
Sleepaway
a dick.
Camp ending. I have a dick, everybody. Sleepaway Camp.
And then somebody off camera was like, oh my God, your gun is digging into my hip.
Not yet. All right, since that one was so short, we can go ahead and knock out the Quiet Place 2 trailers. Well, if you want to, I do. I does. This one's gonna be oh God.
I just you know how you autofill? I was trying to type in A Quiet Place 2, but I got Aquarius.
It's the age of Aquarius. How do I go back on this stupid Apple piece of shit?
Dude,
Really,
Cody got a new Apple phone, like the newer one. And he was calling me trying to set up all of his contacts and try to figure it out and shit. And I could hear him in the background talking to his wife, and he was like, God, this fucking thing sucks. I can't figure it out. It's so stupid. And I could hear her go, it's not stupid. You just don't know how to use it. He's like, shut up. I was like, that's exactly how that's how he is.
I watched it.
Yeah, I had an iPhone once, dude, and I was the exact same way setting it up. I was like, fucking iPhone bullshit. I'm used to Android.
Cody was so fucking mad about it, dude, because he was like, God, this fucking thing's so bad, dude. I really wish I just got an Android. Fucking Apple sucks ass. And Kenny was like, it's not stupid. You just don't know how to use it. You're stupid.
It's
and
hard, dude.
Like, fuck you.
It's really hard, actually.
I guess it's the one Paramount Pictures, a minute 50, one day ago.
I think so. I hope that's the one. Yeah, I believe that's the one. Let me turn this thing.
Oh shit! They're gonna take this down.
No,
Paramount, aren't they bad about doing that?
No, it's Universal that always takes our trailers down. So we're safe there. Let me see here. Okay, you guys ready? We're gonna watch The A Quiet Place part 2.
Somebody in the comments, I'm gonna steal that. They were like, I bet it's a quiet trailer. I was like, I bet it is too.
I can't wait for people to complain about us talking over top of it. You know, it's like
we'll just whisper.
Like, I don't know
what she's doing there.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
Sucking, fucking, and touching. Have pressed play. Here we go. Shh.
I didn't put the other one in.
Shh. Oh, wait. I fucked it up.
Shitholes.
I fucked it up. I didn't press play. I fat thumbed it. Okay.
Okay.
Ready?
Yep.
All right. Sucking, fucking, and touching. Here we go.
Final trailer.
This looks like shit.
It's already bad.
I hate those bags, dude. I can't ever get them open.
I always drop them. Like the shit always comes through, like and roll like tennis balls across the linoleum.
Oh, that's rough. He had to walk right by that thing that killed his son.
A bomb, I think.
Oh, this is before.
Man, Jim looks good.
Mm-hmm. Still walking on salt, eh?
I don't know why he came all the way up here. There's nothing left.
Shut up, Cillian.
Out there.
It's a little work.
People worth saving.
Most people had finally given up hope.
Stay in here.
It's Newt.
Ooh. That was like not like alien poop, but it looked like something to be from the movie Aliens.
It's funny that you mentioned that, dude, because that trailer had such an alien vibe to it.
I know, I liked it, but yeah, it definitely had more of a claustrophobic. Well, the first one was really claustrophobic too, but this one felt more higher, like octane, but aliens kind of thing. By the way,
Yeah.
that one dude, the black dude in it, that guy, that was Papa. I think that was Papa Doc, or not Papa Doc, but Papa Shingo. I can't remember his name from Constantine. The one that was like, in my bar, it's neutral. In my bar. What was it? It was Papa Midnight. Papa Midnight.
What is that guy's name? I know his name. I just can't think of it. What's that noise I keep hearing pop up?
It's a quiet place.
It's but no, dude. Yeah, no. Papa Doc was Anthony Mackie, right? I think
No, Papa Doc was Anthony Mackie. But the Papa Midnight was his name in Constantine, the dude that was in that trailer. Papa Midnight.
Okay, it's Jimon Hunsao.
Yeah, he's a badass actor. He was also in Blood Diamond, I think.
Yeah, he was in Blood Diamond and Guardians of the Galaxy. We were talking to Eric about it. He was the guy who was like, who? You know,
I like that
and,
guy's cool, dude. I do like him a lot.
I think he was in Invincible too. I think he was one of the voice actors. That's why we're
Yeah.
talking about him. But yeah, no, dude. Like, I honest to God, even before you said Alien, like 5 minutes, not 5 minutes, because it was like a 2-minute trailer. But like,
You were in time.
I was thinking when they kept showing the insides and like the door shutting and shit like that, I was getting major Alien vibes, which would be a super cool place to take that because. In A Quiet Place, what they did was it was really cool how they formulated everything, but they're on that big ass farm. You had that big open land that they were working with.
Yeah.
I think it would be cool if they somehow take it and they, you know, the raptors in Jurassic Park when they get them trapped in the fucking kitchen. That feel.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, dude, if they take it and they condense it and they stick them, and of course, that was that one scene where they were inside the house, I understand. But if they condense it and get them stuck in a small area with these things, that's a cool idea. I like it.
Dude, with that dude, though, the trailer was great, by the way. I'm just going to give him quick thoughts. Exactly Aliens. I liked it a lot, but it's very misleading. The title, there was nothing quiet about that fucking trailer. Anyway, I got a headache now. I'm kidding. No, but that
This
dude,
is a neighborhood.
I can't say his name, so I'm not even going to try to say that dude's name, the actor's name. Not at all. But the dude that was in Blood Diamond, that was Papa Midnight and Constantine, that dude, he's a little older now, but dude, if he were cast a few years ago as Jon Stewart, even though he has a thick accent, I could have been down with that.
Yeah.
Because that dude's got a believable,
actor.
like he's just got like a hook about him, dude. I don't know. I like that when that guy talks. Like that,
Yeah.
like that guy could sell me the shittiest fucking Pinto on the market, and I would be like, yeah, I know it's gonna fucking break before 50 miles is out, but I like you and I like your accent and I'm falling in love with your eyes. I
Yeah.
like it. I wish we could interview him. Like, we should interview him one
I would
day.
like to do that at some point for sure. But yeah, dude, I mean, I'll be completely 100% full male nudity honest with you guys. I got to throw this phone back to Katie to make sure I don't hit a dog. Whoa.
Zachary Bloom says, "Does it tickle your taint?" Yes, it do. Yes, it tickled it so much. It tickled it so much that my pubes are standing
Sorry.
straight up. Static X.
But the first movie, when it came out and the movie ended and we reviewed it, and then they said we're going to do a sequel. I said, no, says I. That's a movie that doesn't need a sequel. And I never say that movies don't need a sequels because I'm a commercial whore. But I thought that A Quiet Place really
He
didn't
goes,
need
I'm a
sequel.
con man.
I didn't know where to go with it. I love the smell of commerce in the morning, but no, I didn't think it needed a sequel. But now that we're here and they're doing it anyway, John Krasinski is so handsome, but he's dead. He is dead. So I think
it's kind of weird.
in the movies he's dead, but he's going to be in this because I guess they're going to show a little bit of a prequel stuff because you got to get some Krasinski handsomeness in there.
Well, he's still
right?
directing it.
Yeah,
He's kind of weird though. The prequel with, I mean, it makes sense, but you know, I still don't know, man. Like, I mean, I want to see it because it looked good. It looked good as fuck. But honestly, I still might stay by the original position that it really didn't need a sequel. It ended on such an awesome note. The story was already told. I'm like, it was told. Yes, of course, there's survivors out there, and you want to know, you know, all this other stuff. But I wonder if they could have done this on something like a streaming platform and done it like a 10 episode. Like they could have done it. They could have done prequel. Done 10 episodes and then given us, I mean, just more content, but I don't know.
You never know what you're looking at with these things. It could be so wide spanning that they could end up. We could be talking about this fucking 15 years from now. I'll be like, man, Quiet Place fucking 9's coming out. Let's go. Can't wait. You know, you never know.
I just don't want. I don't want people to be like, Jay fucking hates it. He was a lying asshole that was just pretending for the camera. I was like, no, I liked it. No, a liter of cola. We don't serve a liter. I liked it. I just feel like certain movies they don't. Well, Mike said it. They don't need sequels. They end so well. They're so well received and so good. There is you have to walk a very fine line not to fuck that up.
Yeah.
Because if you make a sequel that just ruins the legacy, I mean, look at goddamn what's that boxer, Sugar Shane Mosley? He fucked his legacy up. Like, I know it's a boxer, but he stayed around a long way after he was in his prime.
And I'm not even one to say like, oh, remake or sequel's going to taunt the other movies because, like, as we've always said, you can always go back and watch the movies. Who gives a fuck if a sequel sucks? It doesn't really matter. Yeah. But it just felt like A Quiet Place felt like something that was good. It was contained, but it felt like a one-time thing to me. But I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's fucking awesome, and it looks really cool.
And I know the arguments. People are like, Aliens, RoboCop 2, Terminator 2, Ghostbusters 2,
John
Wayne's
Krasinski's
World 2.
Dead.
Well, 2 actually wasn't received very well, and neither was Ghostbusters 2, which makes 0 sense.
Yeah, Ghostbusters 2
Old
rocked
man
shit.
playing drums, or
Yeah.
no, a half naked Indian man playing drums, or whatever he says.
But dude, I think that and what if they do that? What if they decide? What if they really up the ante and this becomes an aliens to alien?
Well, let me ask
type
you a
of
question though,
situation? That'd be
straight up
cool.
though. Do you really want? I mean, you're going to see John Krasinski in it. Was John Krasinski and the relationship that he had with his daughter going forward? Obviously, Emily Blunt's character was great, and she's a great actress. But and it was terrifying and nerve wracking and nail biting when she had to have her baby in a tub that probably didn't have any soap bubbles in it, and that was scary. And she was scared of what was going to happen there. She was having contractions, I guess. But the main focus of that movie was Krasinski and his deaf daughter and how their relationship grows and the ultimate sacrifice. Spoiler alert that Krasinski makes. But now that that's gone and you're only going to get Krasinski back in a flashback and you're going to have Emily Blunt leading her 2 children across the wastelands, I almost feel like I kind of want to see Krasinski more. I would rather have that story told better.
Well, the thing about
not better, but just more of that.
Well, the thing about Krasinski is it's no knock to Emily Blunt, but with Krasinski, it's like he was Jim, obviously, and a lot of people didn't see that Michael Bay war movie that he did, 12 Soldiers. I can't remember the name of it. Love the movie though, the soldier movie that he was in, where he was like a badass Michael Bay soldier. He was fucking awesome in that, like really good. But 13 Days, maybe I remember the name. But anyways. The point is that it was so cool to see Krasinski in a horror movie and his new fucking badass self. But that being said, Emily Blunt, you remember Edge of Darkness? She could take both these franchises on her own.
Emily Blunt's a badass actress. I liked her a lot.
Yeah, her, Samara Weaving, there would be a top 3 somewhere for me of most badass, awesome actresses. Emily Blunt would be at the top. Hey, you know what would be fucking badass, dude? Is if when they're done with Halloween Ends, the next director comes on and they do their James Bond thing we were talking about, and they start their own trilogy or their own idea of it. Who would be fucking awesome final girl in a fucking Halloween movie? Emily Blunt would be badass.
You know what? I think writing's on the wall. Marvel, unless they're just stupid and they're too busy sucking on a mouse's wiener to realize it, I think that you need to cast John Krasinski as Reed Richards and Emily Blunt as Susan Storm.
No fucking doubt, man. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, not only are they really married in real life, so they're already going to have that chemistry coming over into the role. They're amazing actors and actresses, or whatever you want to say, because I don't want to get bullied on Twitter if I don't say the right fucking actor or actresses.
Right.
But they are amazing. So I think there's a petition for sure well, not a petition, but there has been a lot of people wanting Krasinski and Emily Blunt as Susan Storm and Reed Richards.
I would love it.
I think that would be amazing. But anyway, I just feel like watching the movie. I like Emily Blunt. She's very compelling and she's nice to look at, but it's also one of those things and she's a badass, but
they both are.
Yeah, I mean, I stare deeply into those abs of Krasinski sometimes.
I know.
I'm like, why does God give you those gifts and not me? How come you'll give him abs but not me? But yeah, that movie was so compelling for me. A Quiet Place was the Krasinski relationship, and now that that's no longer available and that story's been told, I just don't know how much. It could be. I'm not saying the movie won't be amazing, but I don't think it'll be as good as the first movie.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Can't wait to see it though. We're both going to see the shit out of that. We're going to watch the shit out of it. I'll tell you what.
Joshua Parker says John Krasinski and Emily Blunt should remake 50 Shades of Grey. I would watch that in a heartbeat.
That would be honest to God.
If they leak a sex tape, I'm going to have that shit on a mantle.
No doubt about it. Big Bopper says
I'll get that on Laserdisc.
$2 super chat from Big Bopper. He says 50 cents for Mike, $1.10 for Jay. You fucking assholes. You sons of bitches.
I'll take that. I need it. Thanks, man. Because one time I paid for natural light with pennies because I was at no money.
I tried to pay for gas once in quarters, and the guy literally told me no. I was like, dude, I got to get to work, and I forgot my wallet. Just take these fucking quarters.
You ever suck some dick for some coke, man?
Yo, baby, you ever had the asshole licked by a fat man in an overcoat?
What was that thing? That wasn't coke in half baked. What was it? You ever suck some dick for
maybe you just said weed. You
meth.
ever suck dick for weed, man?
He's like, I'll suck your dick. No,
Anthony Stamps, thanks, buddy. He said, this is the last one I could come up with. Who do you guys think would win? Ellen Ripley versus Master Chief and John Rambo. Okay, so first off,
man.
Ellen Ripley versus Master Chief.
That's easy. Master Chief whooped that ass every day.
Ellen Ripley's tough, dude. I mean, Master Chief, come on.
It depends. If you're talking about John, like the Spartan John 117, when he doesn't have the armor on, he still whoops that ass every day. I mean, that guy was one of a select few Spartan or humans that could withstand the Spartan armor, where he didn't break his arms off when he moved.
He's like Leonidas from the future.
Yeah, so that guy, it's gonna be him. And Rambo, I mean, again,
he said Rambo versus Chris Redfield. Fucking Rambo, eat his ass.
Come on, man. Like, look,
You know what I mean?
Rainbow will whoop that ass so bad that Chris Redfield's asshole would bleed T-virus for a week. Like it would just be blue and purple.
No doubt. No doubt. All right. We'll read this last super chat. We'll take our break. We'll come back.
One second, but this is not a super chat. I just want to say Robbie Cazell says G.I. Jane. I don't know if you're asking about the movie. G.I. Jane was good. Demi Moore was awesome in that, but I mean, do you not realize that was also a lot of it was I got $1 million to shave my head. She got $1 million to shave her fucking head.
I'd do it.
Like she did.
I'd do it for 20.
It wasn't like she was trying to prove a point. Like legit, she got $1 million to shave her head.
No,
Demi
no,
Moore.
yeah.
So
hey,
like,
and honest, let's be honest. She deserved $1 million to shave that head.
yeah, well, I mean,
And she still looked good.
Look, my hair is naturally going away, but it's not. I'm not getting $1 million. Where's my money?
Yeah, but we're no Demi Moore. You're no Sharon Stone. No Sharon Stone.
Where's my money?
Joshua Ayer said, everyone go ahead and hit the like button now before you drink or smoke too much and forget Wham Love. Thank you for that, Josh.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Thank you for the reminder.
Click the like button. I'm going to say this one more time. This guy's coming on the show tonight, so if you guys will go share.
Michael Myers?
Yeah, himself.
Michael
The
Myers
guy
is
who
coming
wrote
on the
this
show.
book, John Passarello, is coming on the show tonight. So what we're going to do in honor of you all, if you guys will like this video, if you'll share this video on your social media platform, preferably somewhere where you think people will watch because of horror, a Halloween group, something like that, share this video, try to get people in here, help us out, and we're going to pick several of you guys, and we're going to buy you guys autographed copies of this book and mail it to you for being awesome people.
Have we discussed
be picked at random.
It's going to be autographed?
Yeah.
Does John know?
No.
We're gonna stick it to his room.
You
and,
can
like,
order it. You can order an autograph one. So.
We're gonna have to like chloroform his ass and like have his limp hands signing it.
Oh shit!
I was like, I didn't know if John knew about this. He's gonna come on and be like, hey, by the way, you're gonna have to sign like fucking 50 books. Like, what?
Do it now while we watch. Do it while we watch. John. Jason Dyer says my sources say the Halloween 2018 trailer will come out before the movie. Cheers to the best two people on YouTube, Jay and the other guy. LOL. You all.
Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate
are right.
The other guy tries his best though.
Yeah, I do what I can.
I'm just, it's good. It's good.
I'm just a little warm.
You know what? Next
fucking
week it's gonna be though, where I was like, hey, that other asshole. Get rid of that other asshole.
But
open up a worms can right here.
I know I did. It's okay. I can take it.
By the way, strike that.
I've got a thick
I meant can
skin.
of worms. I said worms can. It's like Willy Wonka. I said strike that.
You fucking suck. I used to be the favorite.
You
can't say
Oh.
canned worms. You fucking Vienna sausage eating piece of shit.
Vienna sausages are good when you don't have any money.
They're fucking amazing. I love them. I really do.
Actually, they are. They're excellent. And spam is good too.
Yeah. No, that's gross. Actually, I can't.
If you fry it, it's not bad.
I can't go all the way with you there.
Well, you can at least meet me to the door.
Melissa Conley says, totally forgot the live chat tonight, but I just got home from the bar and drank enough for everyone here.
There we
God
go.
Damn,
I like
Melissa,
that.
It's not even 10 p.m. Give it
I
up for
like Melissa.
everybody.
That's a true. That's a patriot right there. That's a true-blooded American woman. She's like, I just got
Friday
from the
night.
fucking bar, and I am drunk. Let's get crazy.
Parties here on the west side. I reached
man,
for my 40
no
and I
diggity,
turned it up.
No doubt.
Designated driver, take the keys to my truck. Thanks, Melissa. Much love to you.
Faded.
Stepping on back to the bump to baited. I don't know what the actual
Feel
words
so good in my hood
tonight. Running back down to the mountain bow. Forgot about the drive-by.
You sound like you're trying to fucking try out for the Blues Traveler.
I'm a scat man.
Is that Blues Traveler? It's hard to say what it is I see in you.
Wonder if that guy turned out to be like a super sexual deviant, by the way.
Is he hot?
No, he's fucking like 400 pounds.
Oh, I thought you meant I thought you were gonna like sexual, like hot.
No, dude, he was fucking nasty back in the day when he was famous. And
Is that the
still
fat
turned
one?
out- Yeah, that's the big dude.
Oh, because there's two of them that like they both sound similar, but there's
Yeah.
a fat one and then there's a
All
thin one.
Yeah, it's kind of like us. Oh shit! All right,
We got to go now.
we're gonna take a quick break, guys. We'll be right back
Came
with
through my nose, dude.
John Passarello.
There's
If
boogers in my fucking booger sugar in my beer.
he decides to still show up, we'll be back with John Passarello in 10 minutes. Be right back. Don't go nowhere.
We'll be back, guys.
Stop. Before we go, by the way, American Boogie Woman is the most recent one. I guess that's the one you're in post-production on now, right?
Yeah.
Starring.
There's actually two. There's two. There's
Okay.
American Boogie Man, and then there's American Boogie Woman.
No
So
shit.
It's a dude. Yeah. It's
Get
it's a double whammy of booginess.
Electric Boogie Lou.
I totally was like, we have to have like Electric Boogaloo. Or like
Hey, man.
the other best subtitle
you
of,
got-
of movie history, House 2, the second story.
There you go. Well, I mean, you got Peyton List, who was in Cobra
Yes.
Kai. That's going to be in
Love
it.
her.
She was awesome
Mhm.
in Cobra Kai.
She was
And-
amazing.
And such a sweetheart, and I
Mhm.
just adore her. Like, she's become like a little sister to me, and I just think I can't think of somebody who's during a pandemic who made me laugh so much.
Yeah, well, that's an
She's
awesome
yeah.
on the way up,
Yes,
thing.
she
Yeah,
is.
and then you also have Tobin Bell of
Yes,
Jigsaw.
we do.
fame.
Yeah,
Fucking
we
Bell,
have
yeah.
Jigsaw. So it's not movie. I think it's not the kind of movie people think it is, though. It's more of a, it's kind of like a what if thriller. There was this. It's about Eileen Wuornos, who's obviously was very infamous, being America's. She called her America's first female serial killer. She wasn't, but she certainly is the most well known. But such a tragic, sad story that was played so beautifully by Charlize Theron and Monster many years back now.
Mhm.
But our movie is, I mean, we call it kind of the unofficial prequel to Monster, but I don't want to like set expectations that high.
Right. Yeah.
It's
I get it.
it's not that. It's there's a chapter of Eileen Wuornos' life that very few people know of, that and I think you guys know who I'm talking about, right?
Mhm.
Like
Yeah, I
this-
do.
How
Yeah.
kind of like mentally ill this woman was, and just
Mhm.
disturbed and terrifying to look at. I mean, she literally looked like a monster. But before that, in her early 20s, she married a very wealthy man, an much older man in his 70s, named Louis Fell, who was like the yacht club president of a small town in Florida. And nobody knows this chapter of Eileen Wuornos' life, that she married. She was set to become a rich woman.
Mhm.
And look what happened to her life. So our movie sort of explores that chapter of her life, but in a very what if way, because nobody really knows.
I'm intrigued
what
as
happened.
fuck. I'm not gonna lie.
Really? I don't know.
Yeah, dude, I was like
people are
listening,
either
I was
going to
like-
think this is like a fucking Lifetime movie, or
No,
they're
dude.
going to
I
think
was intrigued.
Well, it's going to be in theaters. That one's going to come out in September through Fathom, who does like those kind of like special event screenings. But it'll be on 600 screens, I'm told, in mid-September. And prior to that, the month before that, we have American Boogeyman, starring Chad Michael Murray as Ted Bundy.
Oh shit. Okay.
As
Okay.
Ted Bundy.
Okay.
Ah.
As Ted Bundy.
I can kind of see it.
I
can see
know
it.
there have been a plethora of Ted Bundy movies and documentaries of late, but one of the things that troubled me, I have to say, to be honest, was that these other movies, I'm not naming names, it felt like they were kind of glamorizing Ted Bundy,
Yeah, that's
you know.
true. Mhm.
And I'm like,
Yeah, the
wait a
Netflix
minute,
thing.
That's a,
I'm like, this guy wasn't like this showman and misunderstood good guy.
Dude,
who
yes,
just like
yes.
what is this? So I wrote this thing, and I'd had the idea for this for a while, but it gave me the impetus to write it, and I called it American Boogeyman, and because that's what he was.
Yeah,
He was
exactly.
he was a man who murdered, probably close to 100 women, and
In heinous fashion, no less.
Yeah, he
heinous
was a
fashion.
complete narcissist. He didn't give a shit.
Absolutely.
Like he didn't give a shit about
So
you or anybody else. So.
I don't play him in this movie, or Chad doesn't play him in this movie as anything but, sort of an avatar of pure evil. Like
Yeah.
he is like, you do not want to get in the car with this guy. You do not want to have him
Right.
move in next door to you. Like to me, I wanted to bring it back to that level of fear that those victims would have felt when they were confronted by him or
Yeah.
abducted by him. And he was so, like, people say he was smart, but I think he was just kind of he just knew how to.
He's kind of lucky in some ways too.
He was
though.
lucky, but he also kind of knew how to just prey on sympathy.
Mhm. Yep.
Like he would put on the all these like things have become like cliche now, like Buffalo Bill and Silence of the Lambs, and like how he put the cast on and tried
Yep.
to make the girl like help him. Like that's what Ted Bundy would do, and manipulate everybody around him. And so this movie brings that part of it, and it's told through the perspective of a really smart, based on a real woman, female detective who was with the Seattle detectives Seattle Sheriff's Department back in the day. And it's kind of her struggle to kind of bring this crazy person to justice.
Mhm.
And so it's a cool cast. And we made this during the pandemic. And to me alone, that was the accomplishment that we were able to do it.
Exactly. Yeah.
So excited. So that's coming out in August.
Yeah, it's always weird, but like Bundy and people like Richard Ramirez, where there's like this huge female fan base of them.
Right.
And they're like, "Oh my God, I would love to fuck him, except he kills people." But I still wait.
That though.
I mean,
Here's the weird thing.
thing.
It kind of ties into the Michael Myers thing. Like like you even have it. The lines about like I just think he's misunderstood. Like I really want to know who's under the mask.
Yeah.
Like who's under the mask?
I was completely playing into what you're talking about.
Right, exactly.
I mean, you would think that if this was real, like people would probably, women like that would call into radio shows
I
at
love it,
midnight
though.
and say,
Yeah.
I want to fuck him,
Yeah, and I love that you're going to explore more of the darker, more grittier, vicious side of
That's
this.
what it is.
He's a killer. I mean, that's what he is. He's a serial killer.
Yep. And I think to sugarcoat that in any way is the wrong thing. We also have Lynn Shay is in the movie. And,
nice.
Playing Bundy's mother. And
we back.
Hello.
So any moment now, John Passarello, who wrote this Halloween 2018 novel, will be joining us. And one last time, everybody who shares this video tonight, clicks like on it, post in the comments that you did so. We're going to send a couple people autographed copies of that. So that'd be cool if you guys did that. Really excited to talk to this dude, man. It's fascinating. I looked. I haven't seen him talk about it anywhere. So I'm really pumped. I'm pumped.
Rich says, I don't know if you're talking to someone in the chat, if you're directly addressing me. He says, Jay, have you ever woke up in the morning with a coyote laying next to you? You have to chew your arm off to get her off. You have to get out of there. How did you know about what it was like when I was married? I don't even know how you know that. No, I've never had that dream. One time I got really fucking drunk and this guy was going to have sex with his girl. So he made me stay outside the apartment and I just drank Jose Cuervo by myself because I got thrown out and I didn't have a ride and he was driving a black Camaro that was really cool. And then I woke up and there was literally a dog with mange that I slept with all night. Dude, it was like my protecting angel, but it was a dog with mange. And I was like, that makes sense. That's my guardian angel, a dog with mange. And I woke up and literally this dog was laying on me and it was like a wild dog. Like it just came out of the forest of the blackness of the dark. And
hang on one sec. No, you're good. I just gotta,
No, that was it though. I mean, it was like, Nightwolf from Mortal Kombat and he calls on the guardian spirits to help him fight in Mortal Kombat. Like I called on my guardian spirits to keep me warm that evening and it was a dog with mange. A wild dog, but God bless it. But that's neither here nor there. It was really bad though, because I woke up and I didn't even know what mange was, and I was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "This dog was shedding really bad." And then the guy that was having sex with the girl in the apartment that had kicked me out all night, not let me back in the apartment, was like, "Bro, that dog has mange. He's a neighborhood dog." And I'm like, "What does that mean? Is that his name, mange?" He's like, "No, bro." He's like, "Its hair's falling out." I was like, "Oh, that's sad."
Yeah, I think.
Anyway, that was the end of the story. Nice TED talk. Never fall asleep outside drinking Jose Cuervo.
I'm an idiot. I forgot to send John the passcode. So
Ashley Pendleton was like, "It cinched your sadness, Jay." It must have, and it had sadness as well. Its fucking hair was falling out, and all these years later, I know what it feels like. My forehead's getting bigger. At this point, I'm gonna have a drive-in fucking theater on my forehead.
Hey man, you made it out of there, but did the dog?
I don't know. It literally disappeared. Like it kept me warm for a few hours because, dude, it was like 40 something degrees. Like the Jose Cuervo was warming up my insides, but like it was not doing anything for my skin. Like, and that dog just laid there and kept me warm.
Buster just stood up behind you like, "You talking about another dog?"
Yeah, I know. What do you mean? You're talking about that dog with hair falling out? It's all nasty and shit.
Stay Metal Ray. My thoughts on the Aaron Rodgers drama is that Adam Schefter came out this week and admitted that he had no source, and he basically just made the whole thing up based on stuff that we all knew, that Rodgers wanted a longer contract, blew it up, and everybody's shitting on Aaron Rodgers, and the guy hadn't done a damn thing wrong. So it's a bunch of bullshit. Look it up.
Who's that one dude that was coming out? Didn't he defend him? Because I saw you and Cody was group chatting. I couldn't remember the guy's name. Like the last guy that would defend Aaron Rodgers.
Oh yeah, Richard Sherman did.
Richard Sherman, yeah.
Did, yeah. It's crazy.
I don't know, dude. I feel like it's one of those things. I don't know. I know that Brett Favre has also come out and said he didn't think he's staying.
Yeah.
That he'd be surprised if Aaron Rodgers stays. So.
Hey, we got a guest here.
Okay.
All right. Hey. Hey, John.
Hey.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Can you
Okay.
can you see? I'm fixing the video here right now. Can you see us okay? Hear us okay?
I can see. I can see
Awesome.
fine.
Alrighty.
Awesome, man. Hey, thank you so much for taking the time to come on the show tonight. First off, really appreciate it, man.
Oh, you're welcome. Glad to be here.
Yeah, psyched to have you, man. Hey, I was gonna ask you. So you did the Halloween 2018 novelization, which just read this week myself and really enjoyed it a lot. It was great. How does something like that come to be? Like, how does one end up writing the novelization for this huge movie that so many people have been waiting for and comes out? Did they reach out to you, or how'd that whole thing come to be?
I had been working with Titan Books for the supernatural novels, tie-in novels, and I did a grim novel for them. And the editor contacted me and said she thought I'd be perfect for Halloween. And since they're over in England, I got this email. It was like 5 a.m. So I picked up my phone when I woke up and I saw this there. And it was just like this great present to wake up to. I'd love to do it.
Love those emails, man. Sometimes you get those emails and then you get spoiled in a way. You start to look for good emails like that coming in. The days you don't get them, you start to get pissed off. It's like, hey,
I always get those emails that are saying, "Hey, you owe this much to the IRS." And I'm like, "What?" I thought I was caught up. I thought I was caught up.
I love the Myers mask in the background, man. Where'd that come from?
The Mars mask or the
Myers mask, the Michael Myers mask. Yeah.
Yeah, I ordered that when I got as soon as I got the job, I was like Halloweening up everything. I got the Funko Pop, I got T-shirts, and I just saw that on it was advertised. I can't remember the name of the store, but it was by the guy who designed the mask at the store, and I met him when I did a signing at Dark Delicacies. But the last Halloween before the pandemic, I actually had the overalls and put on the mask and had the fake, prop knife, and went out in front of our house, and I was freaking out all the neighborhood kids. I stand under a tree. So it was fun doing that. My wife said I really got down the Michael Myers movement.
So would you
robotic, standing there and very still and then moving deliberately.
So does that help you with the writing process to surround yourself with like something like that to kind of get the creative juices flowing a little bit?
I think by the time I got the mask, I was already done with the book.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
So I watched the original movie before I even got the script. I knew the script was coming, and I hadn't watched it in a while. My wife watches it every year for Halloween. So I see parts of it, each year, but I had never sat down to watch one of these rewatches start to finish until then. So I wanted to get right into the mode of Michael Myers and Laurie. And they told me that the movie would not use any of the sequels. So that made my work a lot easier because I didn't have to go and watch all of the sequels to trying to get up to speed on where everything had gone. So it was just taking that first movie as a jumping off point. So, but I do have all these things around when I work on Supernatural. I've got stuff, I've got the model of the car, and I got things on my desk to get in the mood. So.
Oh, that's a huge thing too, man. Supernaturals, that's right up there with Halloween as far as the today's audience goes. Everybody loves that stuff. I know my wife does too. I did see where you in the thank you section in the opener of the book, you actually thanked your wife, whose favorite horror movie was Halloween. So I bet she was super jacked up when she heard that you got that.
Yeah, I actually when I got the email, I couldn't wait to tell her because I know she loves that movie, and I thought you're not going to believe this.
Was there?
It kind of fell out of the sky because I didn't even know they were making the movie at that point, or I may have heard it vaguely. I wrote it like 3 years ago, so it's hard to remember the exact timing of when news leaked out about it. But I know once I got the job, I wasn't allowed to tell anyone for the longest time, and they told me, "Oh, you'll be able to tell them by the time Comic-Con rolls around." So I'm waiting for Comic-Con, and I was writing it in April and May, and Comic-Con I think was July. And so I thought, okay, I'd wait till July before I can tell anybody. And then that came around, I still couldn't tell anybody. So I was like dying inside, dying to tell people what I was working on.
So would you say that they're pretty strict on their rules in regards to that, like the novelization of the screenplay?
Yeah, this was my first movie novelization. I had done a bunch of original tie-in novels, going back to Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel. I did the 4 Supernaturals. I actually wrote my last Supernatural the same year as the Halloween book. and I did one of the Grimm novels for Titan also. And they're always original stories based on the show, and they're set during a particular season or during a certain time in the show.
Mhm.
With Buffy and Angel, they had certain periods where the next few novels will take place during this period. With Supernatural, they always told me I could take it as far forward into the continuity as possible. So I would be, watch an episode and I'd set mine after that episode. But of course, by the time the book comes out, it's a year later. So it feels like time. But while I'm writing it, it's very close. And with Halloween, it was the first time I've actually had to do an adaptation of a script. So you got a script that's like 117 pages long, and you need to turn that into a 350 page novel.
Yeah.
So it was my first time doing that. So I was really excited about, finally getting to do one of those.
Yeah. Well, it's a hard thing to do. I have to imagine to take something that's already there. And I imagine that, and we can talk about that as well. You're not allowed to like branch out or go further into it, but you have to add your own spin to it. And just from reading the book, I can tell you, man, it's fascinating reading it, the color that you add to it. I've seen the movie, 20 friggin' times, but reading the book, I'm actually gleaning some new stuff, so some new senses, someone else's take from it. One of the coolest things that I thought you did that I wanted to ask you about was, and I don't know if by the way, did you read any of the other Halloween movie novelizations before you did this?
No, I wanted to read the original one, but it's so hard to find that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you do find it, it's very costly.
Yeah.
You usually have to meet a man by, like a back alley, like he gives you like a paper sack or something.
And you can,
clandestine. Yeah.
Yeah. That can be found on the internet, by the way. You don't have to pay so much to get it there. If you ever want to know, let me know. I can get it to you. But they, because we did the same thing. We had to read it. We didn't actually have the novel. We had to read it online. But one of the coolest things I thought was, and the original book did this as well, which I thought was really neat. You got to, even though you had to follow the plot line of the movie a lot, you had to do exactly what the script said, I'm sure, you got to talk from the POV of Michael Myers a little bit. And he wasn't like talking to himself, but in the text would go to italicized, or however you say that. It would go to that, and you would be like, okay, this is from Michael's point of view. And there would be
present tense too. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And one of the most fascinating things in the book is when you're like, he would breathe, he would squeeze his knife, he would let go. It was all impulse, no actual thought. There were so many different things that you layered into that. When you did that, was there any pushback on that whatsoever? Did they say, hey, you can't say that Michael's feeling this way or thinking this way? Did they try to like squeeze that down at all? Or did they just let you go with it?
No, they let me go with it.
That's awesome.
I told my editor my thought process was that he's always in the moment. So that's why I changed the tense, because I just wanted him to be very visceral, very now, and just reacting to what he sees and what he does, and not go beyond that, not have a grand plan. And that seemed to work well with the script too. So she thought that was a good idea, so we stuck with it. And at that time, I didn't know if the studio would be okay with that, but apparently they were fine with it. So we let it roll that way.
That's awesome. It was cool, man. It was one of my favorite parts of the book.
Thanks.
So when you're adapting the screenplay, though, what's one of the first things that, as a novelist, that you focused on? Is it the, obviously all of these are important, but what would be the number one thing that you maybe focus on? The character, the tone, the atmosphere, the setting. Is there any specific thing like that you look at first that you want to like develop and flesh out before you get started on the other stuff surrounding it?
Well, what I did was, as I said, I watched the movie again for the first time, start to finish, that I hadn't watched in a while. And that's in the back of my mind. So I get the script, and I'm picturing the script being in a similar vein, similar style. And when the movie came out, and it was kind of like it was a really weird psychic experience for me watching the movie, because there was the version of the movie in the script, version of the movie in my book, and then the version of the movie that was the final cut. And it was like three different stories told three different ways. So when I was watching the movie in the theater, I was having this kind of reaction of being like almost like a split personality, like that wasn't the book, or they added this that wasn't in the revised script and it's new, or they cut something that was put in and taken out. So I'm kind of like seeing three movies at the same time when I'm watching.
Oh yeah, wow, yeah.
So when I was writing it, my favorite thing to do is write suspense. You know,
Mhm.
it goes back to all my books. So I focus on suspense, and horror provides a lot of reasons to have suspense. So when I wrote the book, I was emphasizing the suspensive scenes, or trying to. So I don't know how well I succeeded, but that was my goal. Watching the movie was more edited like a thriller.
Yeah.
So that was even kind of a difference to me, because the one thing my wife loves about the original movie is that it kind of lingers on the suspenseful aspects and draws them out till it becomes unbearable.
Mhm.
And the movie was cut like a much faster pace.
Mhm.
So I didn't know if it's kind of a reflection of like modern audience tastes, like the shorter attention spans for movies, and ever since MTV, quick
Right.
movie cuts. So in my mind, I'm kind of building the movie the way I might have built it in the book, if you know what I mean. Like I'm trying
Yeah.
to envision the movie and what helped was it helped in terms of the visuals. But after I'd already started writing it, I got access to the uh, picture archive, so on-set photos, so I could
Wow.
see what the uniforms of the police look like, what people were wearing, how the actors and actresses look in their roles, because they might not look like how they look on their IMDb photo.
Yeah.
Right.
Or made up differently, or have different hair color or different hairstyle.
Mhm.
So it gave me the visuals of all the actors and actresses in this role. And when I'm writing it, I'm picturing like the movie I would cut, but with their visuals. So
Okay.
once I had that, that's kind of how I'm writing it. So I'm going for heavier suspense, probably more gore than the script had in it, and the movie as well.
So it's like using the script as like storyboard, and
Right.
then you're okay. I get you. Okay, that's pretty.
So
I like
the things
that.
I would do is I extended scenes, I added some new scenes. Uh, they had revisions while I was writing it. They
Mhm.
did a reshoot after test screening,
Mhm.
and I was writing it sequentially. So most
Oh.
of the revisions, the reshoots, were for the end of the movie. So I had read how it was originally going to end, which was kind of a lot more open-ended.
Mhm.
But by the time I got to write those sections, I had gotten the revised pages. So
Yeah.
I was adjusting to that too.
Is that pretty frustrating overall when they do that?
It wasn't too bad since I hadn't actually written that section.
Mhm.
But for instance, I didn't get access to that picture archive until after I was into the book. So one of the things that was really different was when the podcasters meet Michael Myers on that courtyard.
Mhm.
The description in the script really didn't tell you what it looked like. So I had this whole different
Oh.
thing with trees and paths and different.
Yeah.
And then I see the picture archive after I've already written that. It's like it's just like a checkerboard pattern. There's nothing there.
Yeah.
It's completely
Yeah.
empty. And there's not that much description in the script to tell you that. So I was just picturing in my head what this looked like. I thought it'd be like peaceful, tranquil area to keep the patients calm, and it was completely different. So
That makes sense.
I had to go back and change the whole scene and move people around from where they were in my original scene.
Yeah, the
was
checkerboard
a
might not have
challenge.
been the best option because I don't know if it's going to inspire tranquil as
No.
much as what you're seeing would. Yeah, so
Right. It was very, very stark. So, I mean, there were some of the challenges that when I started, I didn't have the visuals. I didn't know what the prison bus looked like originally.
oh wow, okay.
So I'm looking up pictures of prison buses online and trying to picture what this is going to look like and
Jeez.
how they're chained to the floor. So it really helped having those pictures. And I'm trying to remember, it was like 3 years ago, but I think there was something like 35,000 photos.
Wow. Okay.
Jesus.
They weren't in order and they
Oh no.
weren't tagged. So you might have that prison scene. I thought they had no pictures, and I get like 20,000 deep, and I say, okay, here's the pictures from that.
Oh,
The,
it was
courtyard.
buried under the other 20,000. Like,
That was part of the reason,
like,
I thought, okay, there weren't no pictures. I'll just make up what I think
Yeah.
it'll look like. And then 20,000 photos later, I start seeing pictures of that scene because it's not in order.
That's
So-
wild. Well, you mentioned the bus, and that was one of the things I wanted to ask you about too, because in the movie, they do a weird thing. So the bus scene happens off screen, basically. Michael Myers' escape happens off screen. There was some speculation that a lot of people thought, hey, maybe it wasn't actually Sartain like it seems like it was who did this, but maybe Laurie, before the dinner scene, had gone and done this, trying to break him loose. The
Yeah.
book, I think, puts that to bed. because if you read the book, you can see Lori being surprised that he's been let out in her like inner monologue or whatever. So I thought that was interesting. It also put to bed the fact that Aaron, the podcaster, some people thought he was alive, but in the book they finally say, hey, he almost made it, but he eventually was a dead body. So I thought that was interesting. That the book kind of answered two of the questions some of the people who watched the movie had. Is the podcaster actually dead, and did Lori do this? And I think it answered both those questions. But one thing, while it added to the scene of the bus about what actually happened, there's a scene, an inner monologue almost for Sartain, where he wakes up in the hospital and he's starting to remember all the stuff that happened, and he kind of has a little panic attack and he has to calm himself down, right? Because he's remembering seeing the bus driver have his throat slit and start to turn the wheel endlessly and that whole thing. I'm taking the long way around, but what I'm kind of getting into is when you wrote that, in your mind, did Sartain cause that bus to crash? Did he help Michael make that happen when you were writing it, at least?
Well, that's part of the reshoot, because initially it was a lot more vague, because I think they wanted it to be a big twist at the end. But then I think with the test screenings, it was so vague that people felt cheated, like, he didn't do that. So in the reshoots, aside from the ending changing, they put in some flashbacks, like memory flashbacks of him in the hospital, and they put in more flashbacks of Laurie's daughter growing up, like what her childhood was like. And then when I see the final film, it's like the stuff they put back in, they then cut back out. The Sartain stuff, they kind of trimmed it back. So I think they thought they were giving away too much after not giving enough, and then took out some again.
Gotcha. Well, was there actual scenes of Sartain helping him?
Oh yes.
That's
okay.
That was going to be the twist, that he wasn't going to be like the original doctor, who was on Laurie's side. The twist was going to be that he helped Michael. And I mean, I didn't see the test screening. I didn't talk, but judging upon what the revised pages look like, it seemed like they felt like they hadn't, I don't want to say earned it, but they didn't drop enough breadcrumbs for people to say, oh, he must have helped him. So I can't remember now how much they left in versus how much they took out of those reshoot pages. Yeah. So that's one of the things I was trying to get at earlier when I said seeing the movie was kind of strange for me, because I had read the original script, and then I read the revised pages, and what was in the movie is kind of a combination of that, plus some scenes that weren't in either script or the reshoot pages. And for instance, the dance had more scenes in the script than ended up in the movie.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely more prevalent in your book. There's like a whole extra chapter of the dance scenes.
Yeah, I kind of got the impression that part of the editing process, and again, this is me speculating, I don't know firsthand, but it almost seemed like they tried to build up Laurie's role by removing some Allison scenes. So the percentage shifts to Laurie because you have less of Allison. If that makes sense.
That definitely makes sense.
Especially I think they want to play up the Laurie versus Michael, so they kind of tamped down on the Allison stuff a bit, like the jogging part was in the script.
Mm-hmm. And that made the deleted scene. That
the dogs that's hung in the tree.
Yeah.
So that stuff was in there, and I think initially I thought it was supposed to be like a changing of the guard. Mm-hmm. Like Laurie was handing her role over to Allison. Allison would be the new Laurie in any future movies. So I kind of had the feeling writing it that, okay, they're saying, okay, this is the passing of the torch. But I think they backed off that a bit in the movie and made it more Laurie versus Michael. And even the second poster has them, face to face, literally, on the movie poster. The original poster just has Michael's face on it, and that's what they used for my novelization.
Do you feel that Dr. Sartain could have had a bigger impact in the film if they had done a certain, because watching the film is totally different from the novelization, and I feel like they were going to go, like you mentioned, a certain way with that character, and they ultimately wind up not doing that. Do you feel like that character could have been more impactful had they gone a different route? Did you enjoy writing that character, or do you just feel like it was just not executed in a way that probably should have been or could have been executed?
Yeah, because it was a point of contention for fans. The Sartain
a lot of fans
pissed so many people off. It was crazy.
Yeah, I got the feeling people didn't like that at all.
Yeah, that one specific
that
scene
might be why they cut some of the scenes.
Yeah,
because I guess they didn't want to just recreate Donald Pleasance too.
Hmm.
The movie. They wanted to have something different, and that was their twist. Passing of the torch, have Sartain not be on her side, be against her.
Hmm.
So I didn't really have an opinion one way or the other. I know in the original script, it was a lot more ambiguous. I even, after I read it, I emailed my editor. I said, "Are you sure this is the final script?" Because I said it doesn't
Yeah.
seem like. I almost feel like I was missing a couple pages because I had been told or expected that this was it. This was it. This was the end.
Okay.
And when it ended, it was, I don't know if it's in the deleted scenes or not, with Michael just sitting in that area where Laurie has the mannequins for shooting practice.
It was
And
not
he
in a
just
deleted scene. So a lot of people want to see it, but they haven't.
He's just breathing heavily. And it's like, well, is he going to eventually die, or is he eventually going to stand up and be fine?
Yeah. I'm gonna get my breath and get a brisk
like
iced tea.
I
and
need
I'll
my
be,
second or third win.
yeah. Right.
Then
Yeah.
I'll be ready to go again. But yeah, I just thought I'm missing something. This doesn't feel like it's the end. Like, is there another page or two?
Mhm.
So I contacted her and make sure that this was actually the final script. And she checked and said, "Yep, that's the final script." So I started working, and then I was probably a week or two into it, and then I heard they were doing reshoots, and I thought I might get a whole new script, but instead I just got the revised pages.
Okay. Yeah.
That makes sense. Well, so in that ending, and there's been a lot of talk about. I was going to ask you about that as well with the reshoots, the original ending versus what ended up happening. It was still even a little bit different. And what happens in your book, a lot of the stuff in your book follows so closely to the movie and like matches up so perfectly. And the most stuff that does not actually match up, I felt like came in the ending. In your book, she's got a handgun. In the movie, she's got a rifle, little things like that. And then with the ending, when he falls down the steps and he's laying there, in the book, they go ahead and they light it on fire and he's still laying down with one leg up, and they light the whole thing on fire and walk away from it. In the movie, he's already up in the the bars and holding on and looking them face first. I really loved, by the way, how in your book you explained what he was feeling when he was doing that. How when he was trying to break through the bars, his skin was burning. He could feel pain. Not that he could feel pain, but he was just focused on the mission no matter what. Is there anything else from the original ending that you remember that happened? So I guess they had their fight and she knocks him off the roof, right? Or he knocks her off the roof and then she's gone. But at the end of that battle, they end up outside and then he's just sitting against a tree. Is that kind of what it was?
Yeah, something like that. Like I said, I have multiple versions of the movie / book in my head.
Mm-hmm.
But there was one part where she has to knock him down the steps and she should have a gun. And in the script, it's like they forgot about the gun. So I felt
true,
like
yeah.
I needed to account for what happened to the gun. Why is she looking for something to hit him with when she has a gun to shoot him?
Right.
So the gun kind of got lost in the script, and I thought, well, it's something they're going to fix in post-production or whatever, reshoot.
Like a George Lucas digital gun or something. Like added
like even when
Yeah.
when Allison closes the closet door and it bounces off his shoe, that's not in the script. The door
Okay.
closed,
Yeah.
or it's partly open, but little things like that change. I thought something like that's going to happen with the gun. But I think in the original script, there's a scene with a crossbow out in the front lawn and everything's taking place in the front lawn, and that was all changed because the cage and the house being this prison for him, none of that was in the original script.
Oh wow. Okay.
So they added all that back, and in those ending pages where they show her checking all the cage doors to be able to lock him in there, to make it a more active plan rather than a passive plan to just attack him, to be luring him into this trap. So that was a big change with the script too.
So the original was more like a knockdown, drag them out kind of fight to the end.
It's
And
like
then they added
all hands on deck.
all hands on deck. Yeah,
Like-
exactly.
Yeah.
Would
So,
you have one you preferred more?
I think either one would have worked, but I felt like that original ending just felt like it wasn't an ending. I felt like we needed something else. So, I mean, there's a thing in movies that they want the actors to be active and not passive. So I think by changing it to a trap, it makes the whole thing a little more active for Laurie, that she's not just, this crazy woman living back in the woods, she actually had
Right.
a plan to have Michael trapped and destroy him there. So I think that works better than what they had originally.
Yeah, she home aloned it. She made sure she
Yeah,
home aloned it. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I know it was 3 years ago, but while you were writing it, was there anything like about the screenplay or while writing it that you really enjoyed? Was there a like a exploring the Michael Myers mythos, or was there a character that you really got drawn to that you're like, man, I would really like to spend more time here? Or was there anything specific that you remember that you really enjoyed more so than anything else?
Well, one of the strange experiences for me, since this was my first movie novelization,
Mm-hmm.
is that once I saw the pictures of the actors playing the parts, it was a new experience for me because I was writing the scenes where they're being killed, and I found that once I could see their pictures in these scenes, it kind of made it more real for me.
Mm-hmm.
I got more emotionally attached because it wasn't just a theoretical character in my head.
Right.
It was actually this person. Like I could picture this person dying, like in the bathroom scene, in the restroom.
Mm-hmm.
So things like that, I was surprised that it upset me as much as it did. Because as a horror writer, I'm used to killing off characters all the time, but usually they're characters that I've created in my head, and they only live in my head. And when I kill them, it's more abstract. But when I'm seeing these pictures of these actors, and I didn't see a film version of it before writing it. Just seeing the stills was enough for that connection, the emotional connection to the character.
Right.
That makes sense. Well, also, I mean, this movie's different than most slashers. Even though slashers aren't as prevalent as they used to be, it used to be the characters that were getting killed off were characters you hated and were annoying anyways. What they did that was interesting, I thought, with Halloween 2018 was you liked them. Some of the characters were likable, and the movie actually, when it came out, they were more likable than they were in the script of the book. Dave, for instance, one thing I wanted to ask you about Dave's death. It happens off screen in the movie. In the movie, you don't actually see him die, and he's a real likable guy. You know, the one that got the tattoo and everything. You just see.
Yeah, that upset me. I wanted to see his death.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Well, that's
spoken like a true horror novelist. I like it.
We wanted to see it too.
If you're gonna die for the cause, you need to get.
There you go.
Right?
Exactly. Don't make me die in vain. But you're when in the book, and just so you guys don't know if you haven't read it, in the book, it's written very well, and they show the death. The death happens in your book, which I imagined it was in the original script too.
In the script, you just see the end with him up on the wall.
Same as the movie.
Yeah.
Oh wow! So they allowed you to actually write that scene.
Well, I knew I needed, when you're writing a 350-page novel from a 117-page script, and if you look at the script pages, they are very sparse. Some dialogue. There's not a lot of text there. So I knew I'd have to add scenes. And for me, as a horror writer, that felt like an obvious scene to add. I mean, I wanted to see Dave go down.
I love it, man. I love it.
I like the character, but I thought, well, I'm missing an opportunity here. This is a perfect scene to add.
Yeah.
Yep.
And in the scene when Michael's going through the town and slaughtering people, I dove in there too and made that a lot more graphic than it is.
You did,
So
yeah.
good.
You answered my question actually, because my question was going to be like, was that in the script before at all, or did you add that in? And obviously you just answered, you added it in yourself. And the Dave death scene was really, really well written, man. That was good. I could picture it happen in my mind. It was a painful death scene that he went through, and you actually painted the picture from us seeing Michael about to kill Dave to seeing Dave's dead body. You painted a really wicked picture in between there, and I appreciate it, as well as the hammer death scene on the tracking shot when he goes and she's making the sandwiches. That scene was painted really well in the book, man. I really felt for her in a way I didn't when I watched the movie.
Yeah, that was a very visceral scene. I wanted to get into that from her point of view too.
Yeah.
And man, I was gonna ask you, like, that actually goes to my next question. Have you ever wrote something that like really just scared the shit out of you? Like you're like, I cannot believe, oh my God, and like you have to like, I know that someone like Stephen King has actually said before that he's wrote scenes or things like that where he has to have a nightlight or has to look under the bed and things like that. While writing this film, did you ever like, man, I really am going really far here. Like, have you ever thought about like in the back of your mind, I don't know if this is going to, be passed or they're going to allow this or anything like that?
I wasn't too worried because I knew it's going to pass the gatekeepers. So if I did something that they didn't want, it's easy enough to cut it out.
Right.
But I wanted to take things a little bit farther than they were in the script.
And
I
God
didn't
bless
know-
you, sir. And God bless you for that.
I didn't.
So-
I hadn't seen the movie, so I thought, well, maybe
Right.
they're going to show more on screen than they're showing on the page.
Mm,
But I just wanted to jump in with both feet. And,
that's it. Okay. Yeah.
and do all that. But there are times where characters kind of their voices kind of take over,
Hmm.
and I think, where did that come from?
Yeah.
But that kind of didn't go where I think it was going to go. The character kind of took over, and I was doing one of my original novels was kind of a haunting ghost murder mystery mashup, and while I was writing that, there were things that happened in the house that were freaking me out.
Mm.
Like an oven vent turned on by itself. I was in my bedroom, and I think my family had gone away, maybe to the shore for the weekend or something.
Uh-huh.
And I'm in the bedroom, and the hall light turned off by itself.
I'm moving out.
So yeah, there were like little weird things happening while I'm writing this thing about ghosts and hauntings. So there are
Gosh.
times where like reality kind of creeps into the fiction or vice versa, and it
Yeah.
kind of freaks me out a little bit.
It's like a pile of clothes on a chair while you're sleeping, and you look over and it looks like the devil himself is staring at you. You're like, oh my God. I need
Hey.
to, yeah.
Moonlit shadow back there.
Yeah, we were reviewing The Exorcist once, or watching all the Exorcist movies. We do this thing called Man vs. Movie. We're watching all the movies of a franchise in one sitting, and we're watching it, and we're making jokes about Pazazu, the demon, Captain Howdy from Exorcist. And I swear to God, these fucking Oreos came flying out of my cabinet and just like landed on the floor.
Double stuffed.
Scared the shit out of us, man. It really did. And I don't even believe in that stuff. Scared us. But is there anything, like, if you could pick one thing, like the most standout thing in the original script that you read when you were doing this book that didn't make the screen in the end, what would that be? What would that one thing be that really just never crossed over?
In this script, I think, like I said, most of the stuff that was cut was a lot of the Allison stuff and Cameron. Like, we never really see what happens to Cameron.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's the stuff that I remember disappearing. There wasn't anything like earth shaking, or I thought, why'd they cut that out? That was great.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought they did a lot of these little excisions just to build up the Laurie side of it. So I didn't know if I haven't watched the deleted scenes from the Blu-ray, so I don't know how much of that people get to see, or if it's canon. And whoever wrote the book for the second movie, I was wondering, like, do they take into account the first novel, or they just look at the screen?
That's a good question.
Because I put stuff in, like I took Michael's burning at the end a lot farther than the movie did.
Yeah.
Because at the time I didn't know there was going to be a trilogy. I thought this is it.
Oh,
So
wow. Okay.
I wanted to give the fans who read the book a little bit more of a definitive ending. So Michael's mask is like fusing to his flesh, to becoming a part of him.
Oh,
His
shit.
skin's burning. So I really wanted to step a few steps over the line into finality. So
That's
what happens in the
disgusting,
second-
and I love it.
Yeah, so
That's
when
awesome.
the second
man.
book comes out, I just wonder, they have to back off that, just ignore what I did, and just pick up whatever the movie is going to do
Yeah.
with him. I don't know if he gets out immediately or if he suffers any damage, because I haven't seen it or know anything secret about what's happening with
Yeah,
it.
that was a bummer. I was hoping to see your name on the Halloween, because no disrespect at all to the guy who's going to end up writing it, of course. But yeah, I was hoping to see your name on it, and when I didn't, I was like, was that just the thing? Was that you, or they just didn't contact you back about it, or?
Yeah, I heard they wanted a new writer. Now, I thought the book was well received.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
I had no problems with it. It was all approved. I was excited. In my mind, I envisioned, once I knew there was going to be a trilogy, I was imagining doing all three books.
Mhm.
And I was pretty psyched to do that. And I was really disappointed that they decided to go with the second person for the second book. I don't know if they'll do a third person for the third book. Maybe they'll come back to me for the third book. I don't know.
well,
Was there?
I don't
Was there?
think.
Oh no, go ahead.
Sorry, all I was going to say was I don't think. Well, first off, the book was definitely well received. Everybody I know has loved it. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic.
Nice.
The only thing I could maybe think that the reason that they would do that is I don't know. I'm pretty sure that no one's ever written two Halloween novelizations, and where
That
they're
could be.
pretty knee deep in like the lore of this whole thing. Maybe they just wanted to keep with that tradition. I don't know, but that's the only thing I could think when I saw that it wasn't you. But You did a hell of a job with this one, man.
Yeah, good stuff, man. Awesome. What I was going to say, what I was going to ask was, while playing around in Michael Myers' world, and you got familiar with it by going back and watching the original Halloween and then adapting the screenplay and writing this novel, if you were to continue in this world of Michael Myers after your initial novel, is there like what are some of the things that you would like to expand on, or maybe go in a direction that they might not have thought of? Like if they were like, hey, you have free license, go and do whatever you want. Michael's alive. Yeah, at this point, his mask is sealed to his fate, or his face forever, but you can do whatever you want. What would you like to do if you could do one thing or a couple of things? What would you like to do in that world?
Well, I don't know if I have a wish list per se, but as long as Laurie's alive, Michael's alive, and they gotta come together. There's gotta
Right.
be-
So you want to explore that relationship more, I guess, and dive deeper into that.
Yeah, because I thought maybe Laurie was going to die, but that would be
Mhm.
definitive. Because I don't know if Jamie Lee Curtis wanted to keep doing this beyond, the 2018 movie.
Right.
So I thought if she definitively dies, which I'm assuming she does not, for the whole movies, maybe she
Yeah.
dies at the end of the second one. I don't know. Halloween kill.
Yeah.
But I thought if that happens, then you're going to have that passing of the torch, and then Michael versus Allison would be the natural thing to do with that.
Right.
So, like I said, when I finished it, I thought that was the end. I
Mhm.
wasn't aware they were going to do, because the movie wasn't out. I think I was hired to do this either late March, early April, and it was due by the end of May.
Okay.
So I had about a little over a month. I think by the time I got the script, it might have been the first week of April.
Okay.
And I finished the whole book.
Yeah, you had to move quick.
Right. So there wasn't a lot of time to mull over like things I would add and change and about that script, because in my head I'm thinking I have to write what is their word count? 80,000 words, I think, is the goal.
Jeez Louise, I couldn't write 8,000, let alone 80,000.
80,000 word novel in about 45 days.
My God, sir. Give this man a race.
So I set myself a daily page goal, and if you take a day off, then the next day you have to do twice as many pages.
Oh, there you
2
go.
days off, then you got to do 3 times as many pages.
A lot of self-discipline for sure.
Yeah, so yeah, with these books, even with the supernatural books, 60 days is a luxury. So
I was going to ask you, like, what's the one thing that you notice as the difference, since this was your first adaptation of a screenplay into a novel versus doing Supernatural or Buffy the Vampire Slayer as they were TV shows? What was the number one difference that you can think of related, as far as the differences between doing those two different kind of novelizations?
Well, the biggest thing for me is all the tie-ins I've done have been original novels.
Original novel. Okay.
So I have to come up with the pitch.
Right.
And they usually want several pitches, and then they'll pick 1 or 2 and say, do whatever one you want, or they'll pick 1 out of the 4. And then you have to do an outline, and then the outline has to get approved. It's usually like a 7 page outline, single spaced. And I would usually do about double that and cut it back. So I'd have the longer version for me. I give them the 7-page version, and I either get notes on that or I get approval on that. And then I go down the rabbit hole and write the novel. So the nice thing about that is that I have this detailed outline, so I'm not going to have writer's block. I might be tired.
Right.
I might not be in the mood to write, but I'm not going to not know what happens next. Because when I write my own novels, I'm not as disciplined about outlining. So I'll write myself into a corner and not know where I'm going to go. With these, they're on such a tight deadline. You have the outline. There's no writer's block. And the nice thing about the movie novelization is that you have the best outline of all. You've got this 117-page script.
Right. So you have you have the
I don't
bones.
need to worry about writer's block for that either. The story's all there. So it takes away the burden of coming up with the story yourself. You're using their characters, but creating a story. Here you've got the characters and you've got the story. So I might have added some minor characters that aren't in the movie. I expand on scenes. I create some new scenes. I kill Dave in more detail than they just show the end result.
Right.
So it was a difference that way, because the story's right there for you. And it got easier when I got that 35,000 picture archive, because now Now I know what people are wearing. I know what they look like. I can picture everyone in my head. I can picture what, the bedroom looks like, what the house looks like.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier than trying to just imagine it from the script because they don't give a lot of details in the script.
Okay,
about
yeah,
things.
that makes sense.
Be
That
like,
makes a lot of sense.
middle-aged woman, 35.
That could be anybody. It's like, oh my god.
Hey, I gotta tell you, man, it's shocking to me because originally when we started coming up with questions for this interview, and by the way, if you don't mind too, we'll take a couple questions from the chat. So if you guys in the chat, if you're cool with that, want to go ahead and start throwing your questions in there, we could throw out a couple of those. But I gotta tell you, man, one of my first question before I realized that you were working off the script based on your website was, so did you got to watch the movie first, right? And then you did it. And the only reason I thought that is because like 5-10 chapters in, I was like, to me, this shit's dead on. I mean, like I'm shocked. I'm shocked literally that you only have the script to work off, much less the pictures, because
It's called talent, sir.
I know I don't have any, but when I'm watching the movie, like I said, I've seen the movie 20 times and I'm reading the book. I mean, it reads exactly the same as the movie does. So the fact that you hadn't seen the movie yet and you're nailing this stuff, it's really impressive to me. I don't know. That's not even a question. I'm just impressed, sir.
Yeah. I finished the book before the end of May, and I didn't see the movie until October.
Didn't even see the trailer by then, because I think the trailer's it's June, right? So
It was June. Yeah, it was
saw
like
no
mid to
action
late
footage
June.
whatsoever. That's
Yeah,
nuts.
that's not always the case. I know some writers who've done movie novelizations where they've actually gotten flown out and see an early version of the movie,
Mhm.
and they take notes.
Oh man, that's cheating though. Like you
I
had to
belong
go. You had to go in, man, straight on. You're like, hey man, I didn't get to see the movie first. I had to go in. Like all my imagination is focused in on this. By the way, I was going to ask you really quick before we get to the chat questions. The novelizations that you've worked on, Supernatural, Buffy, and Angel. Out of those three, and I know this may be putting you on the spot, but I'm just going to ask, which one out of those three is your favorite to work on?
My favorite novelization probably is Supernatural Night Terror,
Supernatural.
the first one I did, because I hadn't written one in a while, and I think it'd been a while since I even wrote one of my own books, and I just remember being so incredibly happy writing that, and because of the type of supernatural villain I had in that,
Yeah.
the doors were just off. I could do anything I wanted. I had Nazi zombies, giant spiders. I had everything I could do.
You had everything, yeah.
I was having a blast. So
that's awesome, man. That's cool stuff. Yeah.
and I regret that Grimm was canceled because I liked doing that, and I would have.
Oh yeah, Grimm, yeah.
Those.
I swear I thought you were gonna say Buffy.
Well, Buffy is I have a fondness for Buffy because I remember when that show first started, watching it with my wife. I had to convince her to watch it because we had seen the movie and weren't real thrilled about the movie.
Oh,
like,
okay.
no, I heard this is good. I heard this is good. So we watched it, and just like opening the door and getting to do that was really special. And everybody knew who Buffy was. So
right.
Back then I'd be doing a lot of book signings at mall bookstores, which don't exist anymore. Of course, Buffy opens the door because everybody knows Buffy or has heard of Buffy, so it's easier to start conversations with people. So I do have a fondness for that book I did as well. I wanted to do more Buffys. I ended up doing 2 Angels,
right?
Just the one Buffy, and part of it was timing because the shows were canceled, at certain points. But Supernatural, I really got to do a lot of those. And
have you watched? Have you watched all the seasons?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
All live. I've been watching it since day one.
That's awesome, man. That's great.
15 years.
Jeez, there's a lot to go off of there, man. And going from the chat, Joshua Parker asked, and I'm kind of paraphrasing this a little bit, but he said, did the book get a good reaction? So and I'd like to know about that too. When you release a book like this and it comes out, and if I'm not mistaken, the book came out like right after the movie, like within a week or something like that.
I think it was a week. I think it was like the following Friday because they probably didn't want to spoil the movie.
Yeah, exactly. And because I remember going to Barnes and Noble and be like, "Hey, where's this book?" And they're like, "Oh, it's in the back. We'll go get you one." And I, grabbed one. But what is it like, writing this book and then you're waiting for the reaction? I know, directors and stuff, they're waiting for Variety for the review and stuff like that. But when you write this book, where does your reaction come from? And what was that day like for you, waiting to see what people thought?
Well, the only reactions I really get are when like bloggers review it, like Bloody Disgusting and different things like that. And like I said, most of the reviews were, really good. I thought it was well received. So I'm used to seeing things like that. Now with Halloween, it was kind of an order of magnitude larger in terms of people's awareness of it, because movies are just, more in the public consciousness than TV shows. Because I meet a lot of people who never watched Buffy, but they heard of it.
Yeah.
They thought Angel was touched by an angel.
I was going to say,
in the outfield.
Just going from Buffy to Angel, there was a drop off in awareness, like people who knew Buffy but had never heard of Angel.
Right.
That'd be me. Yeah, I would be like, didn't they make a movie of Buffy? Like, I didn't know. There's a series.
With Halloween, everybody knows Halloween. It's
right.
been around so long, and there've been so many movies, so it kind of like opens the doors all by itself.
That makes sense. Our buddy Mike White Jr. wants to know if you could write for any movie or TV show. What's one movie or TV show you'd love to do an adaptation for?
Things like I was a Star Trek, the original series fan, going back to when I was a kid. I mean, I grew up with the show, and I kind of understood the stories at deeper levels the older I got. Like when I was a young kid, I just, liked the action. And then as you get older, you kind of understand the stories, and then you kind of understand the social parallels. So I kind of grew up with that, and I always wanted to do like a Star Trek novelization. Movies I'd love to do would be like an alien.
Oh man.
And I see some of my writer friends get those jobs to do Alien. I think, oh man, I'm so jealous. I would love to do that.
John, I'm not gonna lie. When you've been leaning back sometime in your chair, I've noticed like your shirt, and I thought that was a Star Trek red shirted, like like the guy that always died. I was like, why are you wearing that? That's great though. I love it. But then I noticed it wasn't.
Well, I was wearing a black shirt when I tested the connection.
Yeah.
And I found like I disappeared into the background. My head looked like a floating ghost head. So I just grabbed something with some.
Were you a fan of The Next Generation? Did you like The Next Generation with Picard? Did you like that one at all?
I liked Next Generation seasons 3 through 5.
That's Locutus when the Borg came in, I think. Yeah, I'm getting really nerdy here.
3 and 4, 4, 5, I don't remember. But I thought it got off to a slow start. Like if it got off to that kind of start today, I think it would have been canceled.
Oh yeah, it would have been.
A while to grow into itself. And then the last few years I wasn't as thrilled with. But the season 3 through 5, they're the ones I bought on Blu-ray.
I'm just gonna write in my book about 25 points of extra coolness because of the Star Trek thing. Like, that's cool, man. I love it.
I'm a big genre fan, all different kinds of genre. And if there's a genre show coming on TV, I'm there, day one checking it out to see if it's something I want to watch. I was just watching Jupiter's Legacy with my son before this.
Oh, was it good?
The first episode. Good? Yeah, I liked it.
Okay.
We watched Invincible together.
Oh man, there you go.
We just binged Invincible with a guy from Pretty Much It. It's another YouTube channel. We sat down in one day and we watched all 8 episodes and did commentaries for it. Had no idea what Invincible was at all, right? So we sat down, and then the end of the first episode when Omni-Man flies in there. Right? Did that blow your fucking mind or what?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Holy hell! What?
It was like that.
That's cool, man. Hey, man, we'll let you go. I know you're busy. You got a lot of stuff going on. Where can people find your work? Is there a central place? And I'll make sure when we put out the extra video to this, I'll put a link to the website. What do you got going on now?
Yeah, I have my website, and you're gonna have a hard time finding my books in print in stores these days. A lot of the tie-in sections have been cut back. Even my second Angel novel, the show was canceled before my second novel actually came out, and a lot of stores didn't even order it. They feel like once the show's not on the air, no one's going to care about the stories.
Right.
But when people post pictures from Barnes and Nobles around the country, there's always like one copy of Halloween on the shelf.
Yeah.
That's like my foot in the store is like Halloween.
There you go, man.
Everything's an ebook, online. You can get stuff on ebook.
Yeah.
A lot easier to find stuff.
Well, on your website, I did see that you have copies of Halloween that they can get from your website, that you get signed copies, by the way. And we're going to be buying a few of those ourselves, and we're going to be sending them to some of the people that shared the video tonight in the chat. But guys,
if they already own a copy, they can mail them to me, and I'll sign it and send it back.
Hey, wow, there you go.
There you go.
Just supply postage and a return mailer.
Yeah, and I see that's awesome, man. So we'll put a link to your site where you can find all your work, all the stuff that you can still get, the Halloween Kills novel and autographs, or if you have it, you can send him one there. It's the your own website that you do, because you also do web design, right? Mm-hmm. So we'll put a link down there for you guys. Make sure you guys go get that. Support John. John, thank you so much for taking the time tonight, man.
It was amazing.
Thanks for having me. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and anytime, and we need to get you that Halloween Ends novelization. right? Fuck that other guy. No, I'm kidding.
That's what John thought. Fuck that.
Just messing with you, man.
Hey, it was a great time, man. We really appreciate you coming on here and hanging out with us nerds for Michael Myers. So that was awesome to really get to talk to you and pick your brain a little bit.
Absolutely.
Sure, it was fun.
Yeah. Have a great night, man.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
We'll be right back, fellas.
Shit!
Halloween Kills. Halloween Kills. There is this burning sensation going on in the communities on Twitter and all that shit. People are saying, "Hey, there is a Halloween Kills trailer happening on Friday," and I will play the video for you guys that sparked this entire thing. Okay, this video randomly shows up on Reddit, and this is what it looked like. You got to check the classification. It's an Australian trailer that comes up, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want you to watch. It says Trailer Friday. Take note of where the person's sitting in the quotation marks theater, right?
Yeah.
This is all footage that we've seen before. And it looks like he's sitting in the front row of a theater, panning his camera up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's generic footage.
Oh,
but
yeah, okay, yeah.
Watch the Red Band trailer on YouTube this Friday. That's the end of the ad. Okay, so that thing's got people in a tizzy. Okay, people are like, "Oh my god, we're getting a Halloween Kills trailer on Friday." Here's why I think it's fake. A, the guy. Why during the time where there's no movies released at all, would you be sitting in the front goddamn row, doing fucking cracking your fucking neck to watch a movie?
People like to put themselves through unnecessary torture, Mike. You forget.
B, why the fuck were you recording before the trailer even started? I guess unless you're a pirate. Why were you recording before the trailer started? C, there's not a single frame of new footage in this. And D, there's not a single frame of new audio in it. I don't believe it's true. I think it's fake. What do you think?
I'm hesitant to give my opinion because I don't want to get fucking anal beated later on if it turns out to be true. But I really don't.
We'll
think
know
it's
tomorrow.
Real. I don't think it's real. I mean, I know other people have covered the trailer and stuff like that, and I wouldn't trust me. We're not trying to be dickheads about it, but you know, you got to take things with a grain of salt anymore. Again, you heard a cool thing about a trailer from a guy on the internet. Like I don't. It's not. I feel like Jason Blum and the studio, David Gordon Green, and what they're doing with Halloween, they'd be a little smarter with their marketing. I just feel like that's a common sense kind of thing. I feel like they would market that and they would do a better job of just having some random guy in Australia film it, and they'd be like, "Oh shit, the cat's on the bag. I guess we should have put that on the Australian movie." They planned out. I'm sure when they're going to release the trailers and how that's all going to shape up toward the release of the movie. They're not just going to make a mistake and put it only in an Australian movie theater and then have that shit, I mean, come on, guys. It's like, if you believe it, and we might be wrong. I'm just saying, but I feel like if you believe it, you might eat a lot of paint chips. I just feel like it's pretty common sense. Well, again, like you're talking about Jason Blum, David Gordon Green, Blumhouse Studios, and you're trying to say they don't know how to do their fucking job. Like you're pretty much saying they have no control whatsoever on any viral marketing that they can do. And they just accidentally released a giveaway in a random Australian theater.
Yeah. Well, don't get me wrong. Had they done that, like, okay, fine. But it's so fucking weird that at the end of it, it's like, hey, this Friday, and then it says on YouTube. Check it out on YouTube. It's like, why, and when has anybody ever released a anticipatory trailer post in a theater for it to only release on YouTube? And some people, and I've got people, dude. I've had people tell me, dude, it's absolutely true. It's true. There's a trailer coming this Friday. I guarantee it's fucking true. And that's fine. If we're wrong, we will come on here on the very next stream we have after, be like, we were wrong. Here's our reaction to the fucking trailer. Yeah. But I'm telling you, the way that it looks is this guy's just got a big fucking TV, which good for this guy. And honestly, I'm not even mad at him. Like, you know, coming in the fucking chat and saying spoilers and shit for a movie is a dick move. But like, if you just,
I'll bet Ash Williams was the guy recording it.
If you just want to, like, this guy just wanted to fuck with people. And like, I get that people are mad about it. I'm like, that's like, you got to have a weird sense of humor to do that. But I think some guy was like, I just want to watch the world burn. And I think what he did was he has a big fucking TV screen and he was sitting there watching TV in Australia and he went, man, I got a nice fucking setup. I want to show people this shit. He's like, actually, I'm going to edit my own little video together real quick. Let me throw this shit together. I'm going to throw up this AU, which, by the way, Halloween Kills isn't even listed on that website. I checked. It's not even listed on the AU ratings website. And then I'm going to put this together, just fuck with people. And I'm going to sit at the corner of my at the corner of my big screen setup and make it look like a theater and see if people believe it. And they fucking did. And I don't blame them for it. But I don't think it's real.
Yeah, I don't either. And if we're wrong, like Mike said, we'll eat crow. We'll eat your sneakers. We'll actually wear Nas X's tennis shoes. I'll buy them.
We'll donate our blood to make the tennis shoes.
Yeah, like what is like $20,000 for a fucking pair of shoes? Get the fuck out of here. Go back to TikTok, bitch. Anyway, yeah, you're right, dude. Like it would be easy for any, and you're like, you know, why would somebody do that? Like they're bored. They don't fuck.
I just want to fuck with people, you know. It's like a prank.
Like I've been, you know, drunk or something at 3 o'clock in the morning and be like, I want to post some weird fucking shit. I don't know. I want to go on Facebook and be like, hey, I've seen the new Spider-Man Never Go Home or whatever the fucking title's called. And guess what? Tony Stark comes back. And you're like, why would you do that? It's like, because I don't give a fuck.
Are we on?
They're trolls, man. They're professional trolls. Like that's what they.
Or it's just it's a couple dudes sitting around in some.
Are we on?
Theater. I picture like this. There's a couple dudes in Australia sitting in their fucking basement. They got.
Okay.
Hey guys, we're back.
Hey guys, that was a fun fucking interview, man.
Yeah, that's a nice guy, man.
That guy was really super sweet. And I kind of didn't want to make him feel like too, because I felt like when I was getting too nerdy with the Star Trek stuff, he was like, all right, back down, guy. Let's down, Pumbaa. Because yeah, man, but that was really interesting. And I was gonna bring up I had scrolled through, to be honest. We knew he was based on the novel that he wrote, but I didn't know much other than that. So I had gone through Wikipedia and looked him up a little bit. And when he brought up his original novel, I thought it was called Wither, but I haven't read it, so I didn't want to be like, oh, when he was like, oh, when I wrote my original novel, I'm like, oh yes, Wither.
It was Wither.
Yeah, I know, but I thought it was like Wither something else, and I didn't just like, oh yeah, you wrote Wither. He's like, actually, it's Wither thee. And I'm like, oh yeah, and he's like, oh, you've read it? I'm like, no, man, I'm sorry, I should have, but I didn't. But yeah, he was a super sweet guy, good interview, and really generous as well. Like also offering that if you guys send in your novels, that he'll autograph it. Just you guys got to pay for the return. But that's a good deal, man. That's a sweet deal.
That's awesome, man. That's really cool. It's a really nice guy. That's one of the things when I saw on his website that he would do that. I was like, okay, we'll buy a handful of them and send them out to people as well, because that's just really cool. But yeah, dude, and hey, he gave us some news that we did not know before.
Yeah, I wonder if Bloody Disgusting will come out with it after 5 days and pretend that they came up with it. I'm kidding. I kid.
They're good about. They're awesome. They're one of the ones that are awesome about tagging us in it when stuff comes out of our interviews. But yeah, dude, like the fact that. So in the original script, what we found out tonight was that in the original script for Halloween, they have Sartain actually breaking Michael Myers out.
I like that. That's cool.
Fascinating to me. Like that puts that baby to bed.
And again, it's not one of those things for me. Like I don't know if that would have necessarily changed my opinion on Dr. Sartain, but it is like an interesting fact because it might have changed some people's opinions on Dr. Sartain if they had gone that route with it. Other than the route they were like, hey, I'm Michael Myers. Because and I didn't want to say that to him either, because I mean it's not his fault. But I always felt like Dr. Sartain, while the actor was fine, I thought he did a good job with it. I always felt like that was such and it's gonna sound like shit when I say it, but he always felt like a shallow written character. like a very base level, character. Like when you dip your toe in not deep end, whatever, the short end. I don't know what that's called. Where it's not the water's the shallow end. Yes. Yeah, the shallow end. When you dip your toe in the shallow end, you're only going to go that far. I feel like they could have done a lot more with that character, even though he was right. Like I felt like, when he said that they didn't want to do a Donald Pleasance part 2. Right. Because that was going to be the issue for them. Because if they actually passed him off as a new Donald Pleasance, I think people were going to get pissed about it either way. So
yeah, and the book, there's the line in the book as well as the movie where she says, "Oh, then you're the new Loomis, then, right?" But it's fascinating to know that the test screenings really did affect, and not only that, but we got official word from him that in the original script, Laurie was outside with a fucking crossbow, and the movie originally did end with Mike Myers sitting against a tree breathing with no definitive ending, and even he himself. So you got to give the test audience, even though I would have liked to have seen more Sartain or see them flesh it out like in the original apparently was. He did give credence to the fact that there was that original ending and that's how it happened. And even to him, it wasn't enough. Like it felt unfinalized, which is what the test audience said, which is why they changed it to the fire scene. Without even seeing the original footage myself, I got to say that I'm happy that they went with what they went with the fire in the basement and all that.
Well, yeah, because what was also interesting about it was the fact that he was writing it in the perspective that it was the final, like they weren't going to do any more movies. That's interesting to me. Like, for as far as he was concerned, it was done. So they were like, hey, write this novelization. This is going to be the last Michael Myers movie. And then Blumhouse is going to move on. And that's going to be, so that's like, I mean, I'm not a writer, but I'm just going to, that's gotta be like, all right, well, this is going to be interesting. Like I'm going to tackle this. And then you find out later on, you're like, no, they're going to change the whole fucking thing. And it's going to go on for a couple more movies. That's interesting. I thought that was really interesting. Kind of like inside look. Inside Hollywood look.
And it's funny because if you want to, you can now read his novelization of Halloween 2018, and if you choose to, you can read that as a one-off. Like imagine if the story ends there, and like, dude, the end of that, the very end of that fucking book, it's when it talks about Michael. It's a short thing. I'll just read it to you here to show like what he talked about from Michael's side. This is from Michael's point of view. It says, trapped within the basement of the burning house, the shape rises within the encircling flames, heedless of the intense heat, and climbs the stairs even as they too burn. Wrapping both hands around the steel bars of the trap, the shape attacks the locked security gate with inhuman strength and fury, rattling the cage within its housing. The dark force that drives the shape, that endlessly seeks to fulfill its purpose, does not tire or waver, does not stop or surrender, and continues to fight for the freedom to serve the purpose. When the flesh of the shape's palms begin to cook against the hot metal bars, the struggle continues. When the stairs beneath the shape begin to char and crumble, the struggle continues. When the air the shape breathes sears the shape's lungs, the struggle continues. When the coveralls catch fire and the mask begins to bubble and melt into the shape's hidden face, the struggle continues. And when the flesh of the shape's body begins to sear and sizzle, the struggle continues. Burned hands rattle the cage, breathing becomes tortured, ragged. Burned hands continue, heartbeat slows, the shape struggles. And that's the last you see of the shape.
The way that you read that to me, it felt like you were that desperate guy trying to read poetry to the girl that you just want to fuck really bad. You're like, listen, my hand burns at the touch of your dress.
But it's cool. It's cool the way that he laid that out.
But in a cage of my emotion, I cannot break free, and I feel the crackle of sensation. And but no, man, that's
well done, man.
And I was gonna ask him. I didn't say this because it was gonna be obviously a joke, but I didn't know if it would be good, because I was like, hey John, is it ever confusing for you when you go outside your house and they're like, hey, there goes that Arthur guy, and he's like, what do you mean? He's like, well, your name's Arthur though, right? You write books but they call you Arthur. That's got to be confusing, right? Your name's John. And he's like, no, they an author.
Oh my
I'm
God.
like, oh, so they're using the British term.
That was the deepest dad joke you've ever gone into.
I know, and I didn't think he was going to get it. I held back on it because I was like, I want more guests to come on the show. But I really, that was the opening question. I was like, hey John, is it ever confusing when you go outside your house? It's like, hey Arthur, how's it going? I read that book that you wrote.
When I go to bed tonight, I'm going to pray to God. Thank you, God, that Jay didn't say that.
Johnny David says Jay sounds like LL Cool J and H2O. Okay. Come here. Call me hell.
If it makes you feel better, Jason Dyer says with a super chat, thank you. I guess he says, Jay, unfortunately I have to go, but just wanted to say you did a great job tonight, and your questions were outstanding. Jay, have a great night and have a wonderful weekend. Mike, take care.
Hey, Jason, man, I appreciate you a lot, and my offer still stands. Maybe after the stream is over, I'll give you my personal email address, and I will need these words of encouragement for the rest of my life. No, I appreciate it. But I think we did a phenomenal job, and it really was easy because the guy is such a sweetheart. Like that's the honestly, and we've had some guests on for sure, like that are that aren't writers or authors or anything like that. But I really do enjoy talking to the people, the minds behind the script or the novel or whatever. And it's not a knock against the actors or actresses or the director or anything like that, because those are visions and performances that you need to have happen to get the message across. But I really do like diving deep in with these dudes that literally sit down and they visualize these worlds, and these are the worlds that you ultimately see acted out by these actors and actresses and directed by the directors, obviously. But yeah. I love doing this. I mean, I really do. And I hope you guys are enjoying it as much as we do, because I want to fucking talk. I want to go back to my boyfriend, Alan McElroy, who has not returned any of my phone calls for a Tinder date at all. But no, I mean, I really do love these. Like, I like getting in behind the scenes as far as like the writing technique and what's going on in the mind of the author of the actual story that you enjoy.
Yeah. Dude, I'm so fucking there with you on that one, because like when you talk to the writers of these things, you could talk about the people who are they're doing it more from the fan aspect than anybody else is. They are creating that story. Like, they're making that story happen. They're the decision makers, whether that decision goes into play later on or not. They're the decision makers of the story that goes forward. And to me, the writers are the most fascinating ones. Now, even though he wasn't a script writer, he wrote the book, it was still just as fascinating.
But you got to get in that world. It's in that world.
Yeah, exactly. And like Alan McElroy, Daniel Farron, some of my favorite interviews that we've done. Same with John. And, and then you talk about actresses and actors. Andy Matichak.
Andy Matichak was such a great fucking interview.
But it is fucking really fascinating when you talk about the writers that do this stuff, and we're lucky that we get to do it, dude. It's really fucking cool.
And it's one of those things too. It's like I don't know. It's like if you add, like, again, it is not in any way whatsoever shortcoming what actors and actresses and directors bring to the situation, the situation. But it's not that at all. It's that's the Jersey Shore. But it's because when you ask an actor or an actress, like, okay, well, this was your role. How did you feel going into it? That's one thing they can answer to a certain degree, but the ones that world has spawned from is the one that, specifically if you're asking about Halloween. Okay, for example, Halloween 2018 was written by Danny McBride and
David Gordon Green.
David Gordon Green. If you talk to those guys, you'd be like, hey, man, you can get deep down in those panties and be like, what's you feeling like? You know what I mean? Like, you can be like, all right, where was your mind at when you started writing this? How did you get, that's, I don't know. That's this. But again, it's like, I like talking to the directors too, because they're ultimately the ones that have to take this jumble of words and make this an actual visual representation of the author's intent. And the actors and actresses have to visualize this as well through their performance. So it's not a knock against them. And I like talking to them too. That's all good. I like that a lot. But it's just for me personally, and Mike as well. I mean, it's just something about getting behind the, like the Wizard of Oz curtain, the wizard. Let me see your dick. Let me see it.
Well, these are the guys deciding what happens with these characters that we love. They decide it, and if it's good, then that's what they take and move forward with. So if we're interviewing them because they made a movie, that means it was good and they did. So in essence, we're talking, when we talk to the writers of these things, the people who decided what was going to happen with these characters, and that's why I love it so much too. And we hope to talk to so many more. But hey, guys,
then again, if we ever interview Danny McBride, the first question I'm going to be like asking him right off the bat is like, do you want to be? No, I'm saying, but he wrote the screenplay for Halloween 2018 along with it's like, do you want to be gay with Father and I? Because he's a comedic actor, and I don't know. This is so fun, man, and what an opportunity that we've had to have all these great people to come on, and man, this is awesome. And I'm glad that you guys get to experience it with us. And I was gonna say experiment with us like we're in college and we're gonna rub Jello on our nipples and lick it off. But
Rambling
is
Movie
fun, man.
Takes, yeah, Rambling Movie Takes said y'all should interview Rick Rosenthal and ask him what he was smoking on the set of Halloween Resurrection. I've actually emailed Rick Rosenthal asking him to come on the show to talk about not only Resurrection but Halloween 2. Haven't heard back yet. Hopefully we will. But
Rick Rosenthal, what I would ask him is like, hey man, did you ever think that if the writing career didn't work out with the last name like Rosenthal, that you should go into like selling cigarettes? Get yourself some Rosenthals.
That would work so well.
It just sounds like Rosenthal's. Like, hey man, I'm gonna get a carton of Rosenthal's tonight when I get drunk.
But let me say this: as much as we enjoy doing these interviews, man, the absolute only reason we're able to do them though is because there's 228 people in here right now that give a fuck, and there was people here earlier too. The only reason that Jay and I are lucky enough, by the way, we're not some fucking fancy goddamn bullshit whatever. We're just lucky enough to do it because you guys are going to be here. They do it because you guys are going to show up to do it. So you guys are the ones bringing us these guests. We're just asking them to do it. So I just want to say thank you so much to everybody that comes to these streams. Thank you so much to everybody that was in here tonight. And if you're not here tonight, thank you for showing up for the other streams. Thank you for showing up for next week's interview, whatever that's going to be.
If we get one.
Yeah, if we get one.
If we don't get one,
you never know when it's going to
We'll
stop.
make it up.
It could run dry at any point. But thank you all so fucking much for.
I hope we get an actress or an actor, and they're
This.
like, "Hey, I heard you talking shit." I was like, "No, not really, bro." Like,
That's
I
probably
think
why
you
we
heard
haven't
wrong.
gotten anyone from Rob Zombie's movies. Let's be honest, not a single
I'll
person.
tell you, you know
has
what?
come on
I
this show.
would love him
And
to
I've
be
asked.
clarified. Yeah, I know. It would be one of those moments. It was like, I just want to know if there's dung beetles that live in your beard 24/7, or if that's just part of the show. No, I mean, honestly, it's Rob Zombie would be a really cool interview. I would just be like, listen, hey Rob, we've had our differences with you. I know that we're little idiots on the totem pole to you, but okay, my camera died. I'm not going to change it out right now because we're getting ready to end, so it doesn't matter. But I would say, can you please not ever go back and look at anything early? What we said, because I was like, all I want to say is like, can you cast another actress besides your wife in the lead role?
Hey, if we ever got Rob Zombie on, all I would do is just go back and unlist all of our videos until he came on the show. And then afterwards,
I would literally like, hey, what's it like to dig through the ditches and burn through the bitches at Hollywood? Does that feel good?
Yeah, dude. I'll say, and again, I would love to have Rob Zombie on the show. Again, we don't even hate Rob Zombie. We just question some of the movies.
I think we could get Scott Taylor Compton or maybe
and that
or
would
something
be
like that. That'd be
fucking
cool.
amazing. And I loved her in those movies. Like loved her in those.
I like Scott Taylor. She was great. I had no problems with her. Danielle Harris would be a good one. And we would just, they'd be like, oh, if they were like, hey, I thought you didn't like Rob's. I was like, that little guy, just ignore that little guy. I was like, well, let's just talk about your character though.
But I liked you.
Yeah, it's like, I thought you didn't even like my dad. I was like, well, that's not true at all.
Hope to have many more of these. And if we do get anyone, it's because of the people watching right now. So thank you all. We love you all very much. Thank you all guys for hanging out with us tonight. We hope you guys have an amazing weekend and an amazing Mother's Day. Don't forget to get your mom flowers or something for Mother's Day. Okay?
I gotta get on that.
Gotta do it. Can't win without it. We love you all so much. Thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight.
Don't play Love Hurts. Love Scars. Don't play that to your mom, because you know what happens in a Rob Zombie movie.
Love you guys. Happy fucking weekend, everybody.